gentlemen, I'm joined by the 20-time champion, a 2-time world champion, a legend, a staple to the Call of Duty scene, the co-host of The Flank. Give it up for Patty P. Aches. Pat, what's going on?
Woo! Not much, Tom. You know, this week, I obviously, just a couple of days ago, announced that I joined Ubisoft to work on X Defiant. Yeah, things are looking good, man. We got some good games today, and I think we're gonna have a good flank.
Yeah, we had it's very late here. It's about 8 Pacific right now. We had a long day of COD, a long day. A few production issues, stuff like that. We also got a special guest who's gonna be joining us throughout the weekend. He's a staple to the Call of Duty scene, another world champion. I mean, look at the rings on this fucking show right now. I wish I had one of those fucking things. Give it up for the one and only Chris Parasite, ladies and gentlemen. Chris, thank you so much for coming on this weekend, man. It's an absolute pleasure to have you.
No problem, man. I'm happy to be here. I'm glad I get to fill in for Ben as he.
Nah, they love you. They love you. Look, they're going crazy right now. Look at the wag. Every time you're on the show, people love having you on. I think people really like how knowledgeable you are with the game, and I know you've been watching, and you know, we've all been watching. There's been a lot of COD to watch. Man. It's been a while, dude. It's been a while, and I've also been watching you guys on the reverse sweep. You guys been doing a great job over there too. It's a little bit of a different vibe than over here. I feel like on the reverse sweep, it's a little bit different. But I like what you guys are doing over there. So keep that up. And if you guys didn't know what Pat just said, the X Defiant, what's it called? The name of the game, Pat?
Yeah, so
tell them a little bit about it.
Yeah, it's a free-to-play first-person arena shooter. If you go to my tweet on my Twitter, you'll see there's a link to register. There's upcoming closed testing. Hope to be able to share some more details and then next few days, and yeah, I would love to get everybody registered and get ready to play.
Hell yeah, man. Go check it out. Go check Pat's tweet. I know he's been working hard over there, so if you guys want to go show some love, go do what you gotta do. But today we got a lot of Call of Duty to talk about, some really good matches, and I think we should hop right into it. Let's stop wasting some time and let's do what we do. First match of the day, we had the Los Angeles Guerrillas going up against London Royal Ravens. We have the vetoes up: Tuscan Hardpoint, Berlin S&D, Gavitu Control, Berlin Hardpoint, and Desert Siege S&D, which we saw a couple times today, which is interesting because I feel like we haven't seen it. We've rarely seen it this year. And then today at the Major, we've seen it a couple times. So what do you guys think about the vetoes? Anything that catches your eye before we get into it, if anything at all?
I guess the control scared me, mainly because I just know how bad the Guerrillas have been in control in general.
Yeah.
And kind of Ravens getting their map. I think they've been very good on Gavitu control or Gavutu. I don't know how people are calling it still to this day. What do you call it? Do you call it Gavutu or Gavitu?
I call it Gavitu. I don't know. Okay. Everybody calls it Gavutu though. I'm the only one.
Yeah, see, I was calling it Gavitu, and then I got so many people tweeting me like, it's fucking Gavutu, not
definitely Gavutu.
It's Gavutu. Oh shit. See, first I was saying Bokage. Then everybody said that kind of sounded like a really bad word, so to stop saying that, and I said, okay, fuck. And then I started saying Gavitu, and now everybody's saying it's Gavutu. The fuck is that? Gavutu.
But yeah, I mean, overall, I think the first thing I noticed is I think the map set favored London just a little bit. Obviously, we know how good Guerrillas are in hardpoint, so it's hard to kind of say any hardpoints don't favor them in general because they're just a good team in hardpoint. But overall, I think this favored London, and but we kind of knew this was going to be a bloodbath of a series, and we were kind of wanting to see, you know, how London performed on land. This was at that first true, you know, test for them because they had that poor showing from the kickoff.
Yeah.
I think this game was sorry, my bad, Tom.
No,
but
Chris,
I think this game was just like a game of the veterans versus the rookies, man. Like you look at the Guerrillas and like those guys have a ton of experience in comparison to the likes of Afro, Nasty, and Gizmo, and for them to go to a map 5 and close it out, like it showed a lot of resilience, man, and good for them. This is a really entertaining series.
Really good series, and I'm really impressed by London, honestly. I feel like they're so aggressive compared to other teams, and I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but just the way they play and the pace they play at. I didn't expect London with this roster going into the year on paper to come out and play like that. They didn't give me an aggressive type vibe, you know, like that wasn't the team dynamic I was expecting from these guys. Granted, I didn't know much about these guys like Gizmo and Nasty. And, I know Afro a little bit. I know Trey, obviously. But did you guys expect this from London at all? Because this is really good play from them.
I did, just simply because I follow challengers and I like knew the type of players that all these guys were, and Gizmo is always a super aggressive AR player. Nasty also really disgusting SMG player, and Afro we saw him on London last year and he was also super aggressive. So kind of just reminded me of like the little FaZe mold, man. You got like your slower AR, your methodical player, and like Arcides and Hero here, and then you have like three just like cracked out players, and like they have a good formula on paper in terms of the way they situate themselves like as like for roles.
Yeah.
So
And I want to give a huge shout out to Nasty. Want to show him some love because I feel like when we talk London, we talk a lot about Gizmo, a lot about Afro, sometimes about Trey. We don't talk about Nasty enough. This guy popped off today. This guy was having some of the best gameplay of his life. I don't know. This guy was absolutely frying it. On top of that, he was also doing the fundamentals. And I had this noted down. But right here, I just like the heads-up play, finding those gaps. I think this is what a lot of the top subs are going to continue to do all year. But he just finds a gap in a map, and he notices it. He breaks down the setup of the Los Angeles Guerrillas. Maybe a little mishap there. LAG maybe took him a little bit too long to pick up mid. But really good play from Nasty with the squad spawns. I know Chris and Pat, you guys know a lot about squad spawns. Maybe not the best thing to deal with, but I mean, good play out of Nasty here. I think this is.
I'm surprised nobody checked it. Like Austin was kind of looking at that.
They were looking at it, right?
Didn't throw a stun in there, like not even like a spot check. But yeah, I mean, it was a heads up play out of Nasty, and you know, for him to be able to make these heads up plays and be able to slay like this as well, and that's kind of what we saw today. The kid's gross, and I think this London squad, they got a good team, and you know, now that they're able to, or now they've kind of proved that hey, they're just as capable on LAN. It's a scary thing for them.
No,
they just look so confident. They literally look so confident. If you watch their gameplay, they just make decisions.
Well, have you heard their interviews?
Yeah, that's pretty much the confidence is like the main thing with them for sure.
Yeah, if you listen to their interviews, it's all about we think we can win every single gunfight on every single map. Like that's their logic.
But it's one thing to like, you know, say it, and it's one thing to play like it. You know what I mean? Like these guys are young, man, but they have the swagger, and it's like it's you can see it in their gameplay, and who knows how that's gonna keep up for them. But like that one play that you were talking about, ultimately, if you look at the score line, like
they brought it back.
Him buying that much time, it like won them the game.
Yeah, no, it didn't. I think Nasty was able to make that play, winning the game. But I also think just right here, LAG started bringing it back a little bit, and I think LAG they brought it back. They brought it all the way back, but London just got out to such a hot start. They got such a big lead that it was just such a huge climb for LAG, you know?
I want to say something, and this isn't like disrespectful to ASIM, obviously, but ASIM should not be the superstar player on this team. And I feel like throughout their big wins on the online matches, he's been their best player. And even in Hardpoint now, I feel like he stepped up. Obviously, that's awesome for him. He's kind of stepped up from those early game consistencies. Yeah. But I got to see more slaying power out of the rest of the team. Like, they are good in hardpoint, don't get me wrong, but I just feel like they're not slaying the way that this team should be slaying. For a roster that has Huke and Gunless and Slasher, like, where's
spurts of it? You see spurts of it. I mean, Austin had that really good. Yeah, no, not consistently at all. That's what I'm saying. Spurts, like you see it every once in a while. And I also, I definitely disagree with the take that ASIM can't be the superstar.
I should say when they were building this roster, I don't think they were thinking like ASIM's going to be our main best player on the team. Like,
but I also
think
he's
playing like it is what I'm saying.
I just feel like he's getting to that point in his career now where like he's not the rookie anymore. He's got some experience. He's just getting to the point now where he's getting better now. You know, he's getting better. He's getting more consistent. And I think as young players grow, I mean, that's just it's pretty common with young players as he pops a three-piece in the
and that's what I'm saying. This wasn't a dig to him. Like,
no, I get what you're saying, because when you look at the rest of the roster, you're like, Hook, Gunless. I mean, these are guys. These are guys who are like, Gunless is an MVP. Slash is the world champ. You know what I'm saying? Like, these guys are top players. So I definitely feel that. And even when we were watching it, I mean, I was saying the same thing. I mean, I was even Pat. You've been saying you want to see Austin, you know, step it up. You know, you want to see him step up. I mean, I know Big P's been doing his thing. He struggled this first map, so it just seemed like it wasn't clicking for LAG to kick things off. It just wasn't. And London, they were able to hold on. It was a really scrappy end of the map. I know Merc and Maven casted this one, right? Let me just... They were losing their mind watching this P5 hill just because of all the grenades and stuff that were flying by, but... I think towards the end of this game, I think London just did a good job just being a nuisance, just constantly applying pressure. LAG too. I mean, this was a whole clusterfuck, and it went back and forth, and London were able to squeak it out. It was that P1 rotation. They did a good job just rotating, playing disciplined, and holding their angles. And I think it was a good setup from them. What do you guys think?
The one hill they like actually rotated to, and like they 2v1 the guy on the point. But even then, like LAG broke it, and they were in a position to basically win the game. Yeah, they were in a position to win the game. They had to hold off like one more push, and I think they played way too passive. And I don't know about you, but like in a game like this, even in World War II, the original, you kind of need to like not like play the most generic angles, like the most generic head glitches. You know they're going to come in and team nade, like their composed roster. Zero's obviously has a lot of experience. Like he's going to tell them to nade these spots. Like they've probably done this in practice hundreds of times. Why are they playing the most basic head glitches? Why is like Gunless just sitting in this corner? Why isn't he like getting ready to like anticipate a gunfight, like play a little bit more aggressive?
Like that heady, like
I mean, right here,
throwing nades, you know,
right here with 3 dead, and you know they obviously see this guy here because he was just standing up, so they know he's here and he's throwing a grenade. I mean, they should push him. Like number 7 should hit him out. Like push it out, like kill him, like. Delay their push is what you're saying, Chris. Delay their push.
Yeah. Just get more aggressive angles so they're not just basically at the mercy of the other team's nades. Because that's just something I would do. Like if I know they're coming off spawn with a fresh set of nades, I'm not gonna just have every single person play a spot where they're gonna get naded.
Yeah. No, I agree. Pat, I don't know if you agree with that as well, but I definitely agree with that. I feel like
I think
it's a good play to push out cuts.
Safe in their setups in general. Like Pierce would have had 2 people looking over him, like holding their side. He could have easily played that heady a little more aggressive and you know, probably got a pick there and just made their wave that much harder in their push.
Yep, and then London, they were able to close it out. Good rotations out of them. I know you heard Nasty say it in the interview, but their biggest problem is they felt like they were never rotating. They felt like they were just always playing for breaks. So good rotations at the end. They were able to squeak out a W. So maybe some improvements being made from London. But then we get into the S&D, the Berlin S&D, and I already have it written down here in my notes. Multiple clutches. We had a couple 2v4 rounds. We had Gizmo with a 1v2. This one went all the way down to around 11. What were you guys' initial thoughts? If any.
I feel like this game has had a lot of clutches in general, bro. Like, I don't know if people are, and I don't want to use the word trolling, but like, it kind of looks like people just make some just on the head or on the fly bonehead plays, and it leads to those situations that become clutchable, right? That shouldn't be. Like 2v4s, bro. Like 2v4s should be impossible.
Well, here's the first one. Let's take a look.
Yeah.
Let's take a look and see what the hell went wrong here. So London, they're on the defense as well, which is even crazier. But I think it was Hook who went rogue. Hook made a play.
He went rogue this whole map.
I mean, Hook was all over the place. He was definitely all over the place. He was making plays. But I think London, I just don't know how they weren't able to trade out these kills and how they let Hook and Slasher clutch this up. So Slasher puts some shots down. So once Slasher initiates and gets that guy weak and backs him off, that allows Hook to hit that because it opens up the gap. That guy has to give it up. Hook finds a gap.
Sorry, my bad.
No, go ahead, Chris.
Not necessarily, Tom. I don't know if you noticed, number 2 is watching that angle. He just basically, he might have like blinked or something, but he should have been able to see them. Number 2 is literally watching that cross.
He blinked.
He blinked and literally let Hugh get through. Like
that, he had the lights in his eyes, Tom.
That ultimately was how that even started. If that guy gets called out, he doesn't get through, or like the guy that's top fire picks him up. That's literally what happened, and that's the only reason why it even happened. Unless that guy must have just not seen him.
Unless he called him out, but Hook just like YOLO pushed the backfire and the guy fired, didn't expect it, like thought he was just gonna sit tank or something. It's funny that you said blink because wasn't there a clip of Embos back in the day blinking in a wager?
Yeah, and he missed the cross.
Which is like, that is actually fucking hilarious, bro. Like little things like that, I feel like people don't know, like realize, like, bro, if you blink, or even I saw Envoy in the series today, Enable mentioned it in our watch party. He looked up at his mini map right before somebody challenged him. You know what I'm saying? Like, you take a glance at your mini map, somebody challenges you, and you're like, fuck. You know? So sometimes those little timings could bite you in the ass. But 2v4 from LAG, and then they end up doing the same thing in the 2-2 round. They get another 2v4. So I don't know if it's something that London's doing wrong or if LAG is just clutch master over here. But they end up doing the same thing back. I think Gizmo went rogue right there. I think Joey D, Merc was saying a little heat check during the game. He liked it, but then after they lost this round, he said, you know what, maybe it wasn't the best.
If that range was like 10 meters shorter, I would have been all for it, but he chowed
honestly,
like
I don't think he meant to chow that just because he got 2 in his mind. He's probably expecting to get like insta-traded. and he's kind of alone. Like the guy that's coming up behind him, he's not really in a full position to help. So he's
Nah,
probably just trying to catch
he
it.
meant the
Wait,
time.
are you
He meant
really
the chow
expecting
that.
an insta trade?
Okay,
Yeah, no, he
okay, no,
100%
that the way,
chowed
yeah,
that.
no,
He
you're
meant
right,
the
you're
chow
right.
that.
The
He
instant
slow.
trade
He
was
slow
I would
strafed it.
expect-
He
I
slow
would
strafed
expect
it.
something. Like I'm not just gonna sit in that corner either way.
I mean,
still,
hey, I'm gonna
still
be
heat
honest
check.
with you. He could easily win this with the MP40 though against Big P. Like he could. He could. Nah, he
Hold
could.
up,
No, he
son.
couldn't. That's an easy
could. He
shot.
just
Big
missed.
P.
He
Big P's
missed.
in
He
the open. He
missed.
misses shots. I mean, Big
Oh, you
P's in
didn't
the
hit a
open.
bullet.
But the thing is like Big P's gonna kill him every day of the week as long as he doesn't miss his shots with the
Yeah,
automaton.
that's
Like
a
the
hard-ass fight.
automaton is
And
better
you're
at
getting
range.
the headshot multiplier right there. Like,
Yeah,
that's a
yeah,
tough-ass fight.
Yeah. So I don't know what happened there. Gizmo, he died, and then London just kind of gave up the bomb, which I didn't like. Why'd they turtle so hard? I mean, you have numbers. You know what I'm saying? You might as well just push up the map. I mean, yeah, eyes do something. You know, they just let LAG get the bomb down, and then at that point, it's kind of just like you don't know what the hell's gonna happen. You know, LAG could just
I feel
play
like-
individually and make plays.
So we've seen London play on this map. I feel like when they have that kind of like Trey snipe strat, they're really relying on the other team to go B.
Yeah.
Because dude, it's so hard to retake at A with a sniper. Like I feel like they're really like that play call is assuming they're going B. But yeah, I mean LAG just made a good play. They got control of A site, got the bomb down, and then it was just
Yeah. Good
came down
plays.
to a 1v1.
Hey, good job out of LAG. Obviously, they had a couple clutches, and then Gizmo was the 3-4 round where he was able to clutch up. But let's go to the round 11. Actually, it's right here. If you guys want to see the 1v2 from Gizmo real quick, he made the play right here. I think it was Slasher that he ended up frying like down low. But you can see Gizmo. I don't know what happened right here, but Gunless, did he see him cross? Did he not see him cross? Gunless didn't see the cross here in the doors. Like he had it, but he didn't have it. Gizmo crossed. Pierce didn't see him. And then I think right here, you know what happened right there is one MP40 versus automaton up close.
Yeah.
And two, I think Gizmo just slides under his aim. You know, that happens a lot when I play. People just slide under you, and you can't look down quick enough, you know?
It looks like there's a lot of blinking going on in this map.
There's a lot of people
Gutless isn't seeing that guy.
Yeah, bro.
Where was Pierce watching though? What like?
Look, I'll show you. That's what I'm
He had to
saying.
be ADS. He had to be ADS.
Yeah. Well, we saw what his arrow was watching, but I wonder if he was like staring top right, watching like the cross in the A bomb.
The thing is right. This is where I'm confused,
Yeah,
Pat. This is where
you
I'm
should've
confused.
seen this, yeah.
Right here, number 5 knows that Gizmo is outer. Right, Slasher calls him out outer. He's nading it. Big P's looking in the sight right here. Still doesn't matter because he turns here last second. I think Gizmo just might have got by right before Big P. Yeah, right before Big P looks at it. Gizmo got by, which is weird that Big P was Preem in the sight because Austin Preem.
I bet
unless he
Austin
thought he
might-
ran into the door. Big P probably thought he ran into the sight.
He could have came up the outside stairs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
That might have been what Austin called.
Yeah, Big P
But
probably
if
thought he hit
Austin
the
didn't
sight.
call that, Big P was probably blinking right there. You know.
Nah, I'm pretty sure Big P looked in the sight thinking he was gonna come in through side door.
Yeah, just unfortunate timing.
But then we get to the round 11. Let's break down the round 11. Let's see what happened here. I think it was Asim who rushes his sight, finds a big first blood, so good win out of him, and then gets an instant trade. I don't really like one person playing A site by himself. If you're London, I don't
either.
Especially when LAG's favoring this site, right? Like.
Yeah, that was weird to me. That was weird that they had one guy in there. Asim just gets the kill, plants the bomb, and gets out of there. At this point, it's a retake. London made it close. It got a little mixy. There's a lot of trades and people making individual plays. You can see Slasher back all the way up, so he has the pinch. So really all they got to focus on is the bomb. And they died. They almost threw. They didn't. I mean, London hit the site. They won the fights. And then Hook, the big two-piece from Hook, jumping through the window. Really big plays. And then at this point, with 13 seconds left, I mean, Nasty doesn't have a play.
GG, yeah.
It's GG. So just good plays.
If Hook doesn't win that gunfight, they probably lose.
Probably over, yeah. That's why
agreed.
I think London tweeted out something like they were joking, but like I saw a lot of like that should have been like a 5-0 series.
Yeah.
That they were tweeting because of kind of how close these maps were and how spastic they felt.
Yeah, no, it was definitely the maps were really close, and then we get into the Gavutu. The Gavutu fucking control, and what is this? The best control offense we've ever seen so far? What do you guys think? Have you guys seen this?
Fast. It was
this
fast.
was fast.
Yeah.
This was good shit right here. I like this. I don't know what happened off the rip. What did they hit off the rip? So they just won all the fights. They sent everybody A except for one guy. One guy went ring, and then once the guy won the fights ring, he just kind of pushed, maybe made a solo play. He pushes up. They were on both points off the rip. Both points, they were just winning all the fights, and they got pushed up so fast. I just feel like there was nothing here for LAG to do. They just have to win their
like
fights.
They
LSU
were
was
just caught off guard.
Yeah, yeah,
like
they
as
were
soon
just
as
caught off guard.
as soon as Trey hop B, the guy didn't even turn around, and then Trey shoots him in the back. Like he's probably was just mind blown that a guy was on B.
Yep.
He just gets shot in the back, and then Trey gets on the point, and then they're just it's over.
No, good
Yes.
plays. And you can see here, they were able to secure that B point. I think it was Trey Zero who was able to stay alive, like Chris just said, and work some kills. And as soon as they get that B point, they got the B point and the 8 point at the same time, which is, I've never seen anything like this, honestly.
And I think LAG split, right?
They
didn't
split. They
didn't
didn't
just come up with a full game plan, all four hit one thing. Because I think they could have easily stopped B if they just would have all four same time hit it out, coordinated nades. But yeah, I think like Chris said, they were just so caught off guard. It got probably hectic in their comms, and they didn't really have a game plan to how they wanted to stop that round. It just got out of control, and London capitalized.
Yep.
To be fair, once you get a guy on top of the tower of the boat and then Trey's on the B point, you can basically crossfire the gap that's like going towards B, and they're also like obviously locking down A. So they couldn't, like, after they won that initial set, the second set of gunfights when Trey got onto the point, it was basically over. Like they weren't getting to B.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree with you. And I just think London won the next defense as well and go up 2-0. And you guys know how the defenses was. I think LAG got the 8 point, and then they just couldn't capitalize on a B point. They go up 2-0. LAG bring this one all the way back, though. And I don't know if you guys expected that one, but I think LAG, they go back on a defense. They end up clutching this up, and then they go to the offense, and, just a clinical offense out of them. I think they worked the 8 point. This is a typical Gavitu offense round right here, where they work the 8 point, they get the trades, they get the point, and then they keep forcing themselves over to that B side, just playing kills, working those late flanks. You got the subs working mid, working green, trying to be a nuisance. This is just typical Gavitu control here.
Is this the first 2-0 comeback win?
2-0? Like you're saying on control with somebody up 2-0, a reverse sweeping control? Yeah. I don't think so.
On Tuscan, on Gavutu.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah,
it might be. I have no idea if anybody in the chat knows, but unless you know, Chris, do you know? I'm pretty sure we've seen that. I feel like that's not that hard to do, honestly, because you win your defense.
I feel like it could be hard.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, I mean, LAG just had, this was insane. I mean, this is what I wanted to show. I mean, this was absolutely nuts. There's 5 seconds left on the clock, 10-8 life advantage.
Yeah, they should not have won this round.
Hook has to make a play on the site. He ends up scraping by. He's getting shot in the side. He finds the guy on Hill. He somehow gets onto the site, and LAG just win every single fight. I mean, I don't know how the hell they were able to get kills and get into this point. I just feel like it was an overall troll from the London Royal Ravens here. I think that's why they were frustrated and thought it should have been a 5-0, because LAG had no right winning this map right here.
I think, to me, it looked like London thought they won it, and they were kind of playing lazy. Like, all they had to do was hold that cross. If Hugh isn't able to slide to the tank right there and get control, this game's over. Like, I feel like they just got a little lazy. They thought it was over. They didn't anticipate him to be there. And yeah, he just made the play.
I would have liked to see London get more aggressive though. Like right here,
why are they backing up?
Right. Well, they're backing up.
Like
one should hit Bo. He should pinch ring. He should do something. You have lives. I mean, you still have lives to work with. There's only 15 seconds left.
User in your channel.
Number 3 should push middle. Like something should happen here. Something like London just turtle.
Even if like 1 and 4 right there, just jump off, go forward, and hold that cross and that. I think they call it like the first cut or whatever.
Yeah.
Like they easily kill Hugh, like guaranteed kill. The guy just slides in the open, but no one was there because they spawned and backed up. And it looked like, look at number 4. Like, what is he looking at? I feel like they were so worried about some potential flank, but like, bro, there's 4 seconds left. Like, no one is flanking with 4 seconds.
Yeah, and they just got kills. Like, they just killed them. I just don't understand how they're spawning green side and they're getting kills, and London decides to back up and rotate backwards when it's like, hey, just push up, be a nuisance, get behind them, pinch ring, just be annoying. Like, there's so many different plays you can make. They ended up turtling. LAG get into the point. They clutch it up. And then after that, LAG squeak out it. They get the defensive side. On the last round, they were able to get defense.
Hold on real quick. Yo, Chris, are you there?
What happened? He lagged out?
He either lagged out or he can't blink. One of the two.
Oh, he lagged out because he's out of the TeamSpeak as well. Oh, that sucks. We lost Chris.
Yeah, he froze on the
hopefully we can get him back. We'll keep it going for now.
Yeah, that was
funny. Unless Ian, should we go with a little intermission? Let's go to a little intermission real quick. Hold on. Yo, little intermission during the flank.
Hey.
Yo, Ian, you want to come on? Chris just lagged out or some shit. Just till he gets back. if you want.
Wait, Seam, are you in your game or what?
And they would love that right now because, you know, Chris Parasite, he's out of here, bro. He's out. I don't know what happened to him. You don't have to though, Ian. If you don't want to, me and Pat got it. You know, if you want to play ranked.
No, I'll come by until he comes back.
All right, no problem. We're in the other call. Come through.
All right. Yo,
Channel switched.
All right, the Mr. Ian's coming. We got enabled, ladies and gentlemen, just like that. I'm gonna keep the scenes how they are. All right, Ian, welcome to the flank, man.
Yeah.
What's up, baby? What's up?
Ian might have hit Chris off.
I might have hit Chris off. Look at you, propaganda head ass in again, bro.
Yeah, bro. This guy Chris lagged out, man. I don't know what happened. His internet probably dropped, but hopefully we can get him back. But we'll get into it. We're gonna finish off this control. It was LAG who were able to sneak out that defense and make a play. Is he back, Chris?
I'm out of here.
Are you here, Chris? We miss you.
My internet went out, man.
Your internet went out. Oh well, at least you're back. At least you're back now, Chris. At least you're back now. It was a little intermission break, a little intermission there. Yo, Ian, thank you for joining us today on the flank, Ian.
Hey, I had a pleasure for real, man. You guys are great. ZOOMAFIA, man. The flank viewers, you guys are great. You guys always show me love, so thank you. I hope you enjoyed my time. Good luck, boys.
It's been a pleasure, Ian. Enjoy yourself. And if you want to stay, you can. It's up to you. But go ahead. Do what you gotta do.
I'll pop in. I'll pop in.
Yeah, pop in every once in a while. Ian, they love you. Ian, they fucking love you, bro.
All right, come on.
Later, bro.
I'm back. Have fun.
Later, peace.
User
Later,
left your channel.
All right, then LAG, they get into the defensive side, which I don't know how the hell they were able to clutch up their kill count because they were getting mopped. But somehow they were able to squeak out the defense, which after this event will no longer be a thing, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if you guys didn't know. But after the event, it's going to go right back to ticks, a new update. Right now, the pros are playing on the old update, so it's still overtime goes to the team with the most kills. But overtime will go to the team with the most ticks on the point. So it's going to be a little bit more objective-based going into the next event or the next set of league matches. So LAG, with the most kills, we're able to squeak it out. And they win the defense. They get the kills, they push up. Typical defense. You know what it's Gavitu control. Fuck, a Gavudu. But let's get into the next one. We had a Berlin hard point in this fourth map. Talk to me, Pat. Anything that caught your eye in this hard point? Anything you want to talk about? I feel like London mopped them.
Yeah, I think London was kind of like, bro. I think in their comms during this bathroom break, they were probably like, bro, we just threw these last two maps. We should have won 3-0. I think they were obviously pissed off, and they came with a passion this map and just had their way.
They definitely had their way this map. I feel like there's nothing to even talk about this map. They were breaking every hill. They were holding every hill. I don't know what was going on with LAG in this map.
Not a good look for London. Or not London, sorry, LAG.
Chris,
losing both HPs in a series when it's like their best game mode.
I mean, to be fair, Chris, this easily could have been a 3-0 series, right? Like, we saw how close those 2 and 3 modes were. But yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I think LAG... it is concerning, right? Because this is something LAG was dominating hardpoint online, and they go to LAN where this team should improve on LAN, right? Like we all think that. And yeah, they lose two hardpoints in a series.
What are they doing here, Pat? Chris, what are they? They're giving up fire. I mean, they're not even looking at fire. They have two guys looking at street in the back. They got two guys looking at the same thing. They got a guy picking up front and a guy hitting 1 second left on old. I got a guy hitting one.
Man.
Hey, this guy runs right through fire like it's nothing. He just shoots him in the side.
That's not even like a calm thing, right? Like there's one guy at old and there's two people watching street. There's just I don't understand what their logic is. And then yeah, London just breaks in like they just don't give a fuck. Go in,
there's just holes in their gameplay. I tweeted after the first map in the Tuscan, like the Ravens was breaking a lot of their hills from just having holes, and that's something that you wouldn't expect from this team.
That's
right?
what I was gonna say, which is weird for how LAG traditionally kind of plays. They play like, you know, a more setup oriented style, and they're on LAN where you think they would want to be playing that way more anyway. So to kind of them to be sloppy like that and leave holes in their setups and just kind of look like they don't know where they were supposed to look at. And don't get me wrong, LAG has been really good at Berlin, right? They were one of the first teams we saw on
their best map. Isn't it their best map?
Yeah, we were, and they were one of the teams that set up like that God trap on P5. So overall, yeah, I mean, I just think this was a sloppy, kind of careless map for LAG. I don't know why though, because this could have been a closeout map for them after they took two maps that they arguably shouldn't have won.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it just super sloppy all around.
Yeah. I mean,
we're gonna expect that from Slasher and Gunless, by the way, because their comms are really, really, really good. Like Gunless is one of those people that I kind of would say you want to model your comms like him, because if you hear him comm in game most of the time, he's very, very precise and he gives good information.
And very calm.
I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense at all.
Yep.
But
no, he is. Big P's always been good with his comms. It's the information, like you said, Chris, like the spawns and he's very knowledgeable on the map. He says a lot, and it's hard to do that, man, when you're micromanaging a lot of things. Like that's definitely a talent to have. Sure. You know what I'm saying?
And I mean, like when we look at the scoreboard, like obviously London is slaying well, but they're not like world starring, right? They're not like just shitting on them stat wise. They were just winning every rotation, breaking every hill that they didn't have rotation on. Honestly, it was clinical. It was just a clinical performance overall out of London.
Great map, 4 out of them. We don't even need to talk about it anymore. We could go over to the Desert Siege S&D, which was map number 5. I like seeing Desert Siege a little bit more. I hate the fucking map. I think the map is garbage. I hate it. I think it's one of the worst maps ever.
I wonder if there was talks about not doing that thing, because I didn't really see much of it today.
Like the aim swiping shit you're talking about?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of teams played it. I didn't really see much of it. And like we said, we didn't see it. Like we stopped seeing it in the online play. We don't know if that was just coincidence or what, but teams stopped picking it for whatever reason. A lot of teams were banning it.
Yeah.
And yeah, to see it multiple times today, and I can't remember at least an example where I saw the swiping stuff. So, I wonder if teams kind of were just like, hey, let's just stop doing that, whatever.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm not in those talks anymore. Like, I haven't heard anything from any of the pros that I've talked to. But we can have
that
question.
I saw this map and I forgot it was in the rotation because I haven't seen it.
Yeah, you don't see it.
It's always vetoed.
Is that what it is? It's always vetoed. I feel like we've seen it in a couple series game 5s, but we never get there.
Yeah.
But it's been a minute since we've seen Desert Siege, and we got it a couple times today. So, they did good here. There was one round where this round right here was a 1-2 LAG. I feel like this round definitely hurt LAG a little bit. Asim was left in a 1v2 clutch, and I really like the play from Asim. He gets the bomb down, does a full wrap. Really good play. And then things get a little weird here. A lot of people are like, Asim's blind. I think it was just the caster glitch right here.
Spectator lag.
So they could, if you're watching from home, you could see the red outline there. But I think right here, and Asim even said it. I was just talking to Asim right after the loss, and he even said that even his teammates said that he wasn't on it. Like even his teammates are saying that nobody's on the bomb. But if Asim gets the kill here, he probably dips out steps. You know what I'm saying? Gets the kill, dips out stairs, and wins the round. I mean, it would have been a really big round. They would have went up 3-1. But instead, it's London who come out on top. And then I think after that, I think London just really put that gas pedal down, and we're able to close it out. We see a lot of mid hits. Desert Siege, man. One thing I do like about it is you see teams going A site, you see teams going B site, you see teams sniping, slow playing, you see teams rushing, you see them hitting bottom middle and doing crazy shit. I just feel like there's definitely a lot of different ways to play the map. You know what I'm saying?
I think the best thing, Tom, is that word you love, bro. Those decisive plays. I feel like those are game-winning plays on this map. When a team makes a decisive play,
love that.
Whether it be aggressive or playing slow. And you can kind of tell those decisive plays, and yeah, they seem to always work out majority of the time.
Yeah, no, good job out of London. We saw a lot of snipers out today on Desert Siege.
A lot, yeah.
A lot of snipers, and I definitely like that. Definitely like to see people sniping. I think it's very exciting to watch. I still think if people aren't getting kills with the snipers, they should put them away. I think Big P got a couple snipes, right? Big P was hitting snipes. He was
I feel like everybody was hitting snipes today.
Everybody. We saw a few hit markers. We saw a couple wisps, but I feel like Desert Siege is like probably the only map right now that people are actually sniping on, right? I feel like every other map, people aren't really doing it. Tuscan, we saw Insight going rogue with it on Tuscan.
Yeah, that's rogue though. But I think Berlin is more normal. But yeah, Tuscan's like the rogue. Like when we were seeing TJ popping off A with a sniper, it's just like, come on, TJ. We know you can snipe, but you need to use a normal
question.
gun.
It's been a while since I've played, and I admittedly don't know the GAs. Are snipers allowed, but no smokes allowed?
No smokes, yeah. and they also took away certain attachments on the sniper, so it doesn't aim in fast, and it's kind of like a Fugazi sniper in a way.
Yeah, smokes are gone. I assume until there's an update regarding them.
Snipers. I don't know about that one, Chief.
I don't mind it, Chris. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't mind it at all.
Well, Chris, I think it came down to the maps, right? Like you're not really seeing maps or snipers on much more, more maps other than Siege and sometimes Berlin. But yeah, gotcha. I mean, I kind of agree with you.
Kind of weird
normally, but yeah, I mean, the smokes just had to go. They were broken.
I'm not saying that it might not be the most competitive thing, but I think it's one of those things where it's not that big of a difference to make or break entertainment. In my personal opinion.
Unless you're Insight, right?
I mean, look, Insight hit a fucking quickscope cross map. Like, that was fucking sick. Everybody went crazy. And we're going to see it once we get to that series. But, I mean, like, just little stuff like that. Like, and to counter it, I mean, you either just don't peek the sniper or just use your tax. You know what I'm saying? Or snipe back.
You know what worries me about this LAG team outside of their control and consistency? I feel like I have no confidence in them in a game 5. I feel like I have full confidence they can push a series to a game 5, but I have no confidence that they'll win the game 5s. And that's why in a lot of my predictions, like I have them losing 2-3. Like I think they're a good ass team. They're obviously insane at hardpoint. Their control it looks bad to me. But yeah, I mean, I just don't understand why this team, you know, Slasher, Gunless, like even ASIM, like these guys should have ice game 5, and I feel like I'm not seeing that yet, and that's a concern for me. For
negative ice, Pat. They got negative ice right now. I don't know if it's negative ice. I mean, LAG. Right. I mean, it also is just COD, just you know, day to day. But
facts. Yeah.
I definitely think we could see way more from LAG, and I think they know that themselves. I think after
we
the
might
match,
have to bring Slasher on one of these days and get his opinion on.
I would love to. We'd love to have Austin.
5.
Well, maybe sometime next week. We'll see how the major goes, but I definitely would love to have Austin. Some of the guys come on. But a good series overall. I think it was a really good series. Went all the way down to the wire. So shout out to London. Shout out to LAG. They both played great. It was just in the end, London was a better team. We get into the next one. This series was not so great. We got Atlanta FaZe going up against Boston Breach. I think I called it 3-0. Pat, I don't know if you called. What do you call?
I think I called it 3-1.
But this was a bloodbath.
I kind of was
Not
assuming
really.
like depending on the control map, maybe Boston would take it. But yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody. I mean, and I say this, and this sounds disrespectful. I don't think anyone anticipated Simp to play the way he played today, based on how he's played so far in stage 1. Right? Like he came out today, and yeah, it was this series. You could literally, instead of writing 3-0 on it, you could just write Simp on every map.
Seriously.
He went like plus 41 in overall in 3 maps. He had 96 kills, which like set a record. You know, he was looking like me back in Ghost, but overall, I mean, he just had his way with this Boston lineup. It was everywhere he went on the map. Every fight he took, he literally just won.
What were his stats today, Pat? Did he have above a 2?
1.8, I believe. 1.7
as a sub, which is like insane. Like when
he had like 70 untraded kills or something.
Yeah, he had 69 untraded kills, which was more than like any Boston player in the whole series.
That's crazy. That is fucking insane.
Absurd.
That is nuts, dude. It's cool to see Simp getting back to that form that everybody knows he could hit.
And that's scary for the rest of the
league. Super scary. I just wanted to talk about the vetoes because look at this: Bocage, Tuscan, Bocage. So 2 maps the whole series. We got 2 maps the whole series. I definitely think they got to add more maps into this.
100%.
Have to add more maps. But
what was the veto for? Let's see, hardpoint. Okay, FaZe ban Berlin. That makes sense. Yeah. I mean, I think this series for Boston was just near impossible, just strictly due to Gavutu is Boston's worst map. But I would also argue it's FaZe's worst map, and FaZe is gonna ban Boston's best hardpoint in Berlin. So I feel like automatically they were just at a super deficit. Like they were gonna get FaZe's best 2 hardpoints, and obviously any team who plays FaZe on Bocage is just asking for trouble. But they didn't really have a choice in this series, which kind of sucks. Why I think this matchup for them is so tough.
I don't mean to offend Boston by any way, but like I don't think it matters like what maps you could have thrown at it. This is like just a. Not even that like Boston is bad. I just think FaZe is just better, and like it literally looked it didn't matter what the maps were, and it felt like in the series, it just didn't look like Boston could do anything.
Yeah,
always on the back pedal. Even when they had like someone throwing out a couple 3 pieces or like playing well, like Nero had a couple good moments. It just didn't feel like they could put it together, and they were just getting rolled, man.
Yep,
listen, I'm not gonna lie. If today us 3 right here spawned in with Simp, I think we take this series the same way. No bullshit, and that's not disrespectful to Boston.
You're dragging it,
that's
bro.
not disrespectful to Boston. Like, but dude, he was on one today. Like,
he was on one today.
Disgusting.
He was on one, but he was. Listen, he definitely exceeded the bar, and you know he's getting all the shine. But the rest of the FaZe guys play good too. I mean, they always do their thing.
Yeah, I just think the fact that we saw him elevate to that level. You know, obviously we know he's capable of that from recent years, but he hasn't been so far, right? MC has really been the spotlight player for them so far, and then Simp just comes out today and just looks like that. Like, I think that was a statement for Simp in general, right? Because he knows he's been kind of underperforming so far, and even though they're 5-0, which is like a good thing to say, I think this was just a statement for him in general to say like, look, I didn't go anywhere.
Yeah, no, I definitely
basically.
a lot of noise around his name, and I'm sure he's reading it like, what the fuck? I mean, it wasn't even like he was playing bad. It just was he wasn't playing like Simp.
Yeah,
you know,
right. He was
just,
playing like an average player, right?
People just have expectations for him because of how good he actually is, right?
Yeah,
so it's
for sure.
any superstar. But then again, look at any sport, any esport, anything. Your superstars are always gonna have time periods where they're just not performing. They're gonna have slumps or things are going on. And if you're Simp, the best time to have that is in early, you know, in the very beginning. But let's go into the Astro. Never mind. This is not an Astro game listening. They got rid of that, right? Let's go into the listening with Atlanta FaZe and see how they're coming.
I'm pushing out.
TJ, watch out, Shaq. Absolute Shaq. He's going river. He's going river.
They're gonna push me out left. They're gonna
I
push me
think
out
he's
left.
trying you.
TJ dead. Watch out.
I'm native river.
I got hit by the capsule donated.
Watch out left. That. And one's our tools, okay?
Take time here. Take time here.
Two, they both out. They push out. They're gonna be in our house. They're gonna
Top house. Dead.
Yo, he's gonna get like bombing it.
Wait, can it? Oh yeah, you can. Capsule on hit. I hit him with a net.
Nade him on time. Nade him on time. Nice. TJ, tools corner.
Barn. Dead. One time. Jack. One barrel's coming. We kill.
Jack, watch out, Shaq. He went bottom house.
I'm trying to.
Nice.
Oh, go left hand.
Then got me street. He's on the car. They're getting on and off the hill.
Nade him on time.
Landing over.
Back
Back window dead.
left. Listen, get on left, please.
Left dead. No.
Let's go.
That's all you
On time,
talk.
Dad.
No.
Nice.
I need over here.
Time to pick up left, guys.
I'm on top of that.
I'm I have time. I'm getting nade on time, guys.
They're playing back right.
No one left.
I'm trying to get through.
Nothing left, guys. Nothing left.
Okay, top bar.
TJ dead back left. TJ dead back left.
Yeah, top bar still.
I get trip. He's top.
Top bar, nice. Good job.
One shot. He shot me crossing, guys.
One's gonna be flipped. One's gonna be
He was
flipped.
on the
I don't
tank.
see him, Alan. Tools!
He's dead.
I'm
playing one thing.
Stun on you, guys.
I don't see him 10. I don't see him 10.
Quick on the tank.
I'm
On the tank, guys. On the tank.
Still there.
Take one shot. Guys.
Well, FaZe making some big plays now.
Listen, listen. I feel like because I saw somebody write in the chat, I was like, I hate FaZe's comms. It just sounds like a big clusterfuck.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's just how they all are. You know, it works for them.
That's what they're used to. Yeah,
it just works
that's
for
their
them.
comfort.
But it is interesting to hear like Toronto. They're so monotone. They're so like chill, and then FaZe are so like hyper. So much energy. You know, it's crazy how different every team is. But the boat cage, I think Boston was bringing it back a little bit. I think it was around that second rotation where FaZe really started to kick up, and typical boat cage, lots of trades, very mixy. Very back and forth. Anything that you guys want to talk about before we move on to the next one? I don't think there was much in this map that I had noted down that caught my eye, but if there's anything.
Yeah, I do want to say, I think Boston overall played this map pretty solid. Like there was a lot of times where they were getting time when they weren't necessarily getting kills. And I think they do a good job at that overall on a lot of their hard points. But yeah, I mean, the fact that they kept it close, and obviously Simp is 40-27 and sells 31-19. And this is only a 20-point game. Like that's hard to do, right? They're getting outslayed a lot, and it's definitely bow cage. It's mixy, but yeah, they kept it close for majority of the game, which is a good sign for Boston, because I do think they do have kind of how we mentioned a higher ceiling than just expected to get 3-0.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean it's a solid first map. It's just there's nothing you can do when Simp and Cell are doing what they're doing.
It's just a matchup diff. I think they're a good team. I think they don't play bad. They're just getting outclassed individually, and it's just an unfortunate match for Boston to have.
And something that you got to keep in mind, like it throws off a team's game plan when a team is slaying like this, right? Like you go into a map, you have this game plan, and you might be executing that game plan perfectly, but when a team is just slaying so hard against you, it throws those kind of holes in your plan and your setup, which just kind of is what makes FaZe so difficult to play to begin with.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I think, Pat, you were saying, 20, 30-point lead. A 30-point lead on boat cage is a big lead.
But when you're getting outslayed by like 40,
no, I agree.
It's not so big.
No, I definitely agree. But right here, with a minute left to go, you have a 30-point lead and you have control. I mean, FaZe.
Yeah, it's obviously over.
FaZe, I feel like on boat cage, anytime somebody has a lead on boat cage, you double it. That's the rule from now on. If there's a 30-point lead, no, it's a 60-point lead, or vice versa. 60-point lead is a 120-point lead. You know, so it's, you know, you got to double that shit because on bow cage, it's very easy to make things mixy and to get into these.
So if you get 100 point clubbed, do we say we got 50 point clubbed?
Yeah, 100%. If you get 100 point clubbed on fucking bow cage, bro, you were getting shit on. Like you seriously, like you were actually getting fucking bopped on. So definitely, let's go on to the next match or the next map. Good plays out of Atlanta FaZe. We go into the Tuscan S&D. Which Boston?
By the way, let's back up real quick to those stats.
Sure.
Because I actually want to, and Chris and you guys, you both can kind of let me know. Have we ever seen someone after like a stage have a near 3.0 KD in search?
No. What's MC at right now? 2.68.
2.7, I think. Yeah.
2.68.
That's absurd. That's actually absurd. Like you've had like people that are close to a 2.0, like 1.9 something, but like after 5 games in a league where you're 5-0 and you're playing, you know, some of the best teams. To have that high of a KD and S&D, that's nuts.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, Chris, I heard you giggling a little bit when he said 2.68. I mean, what is that unheard of to you or something? Like,
I mean, it's just like the guy's basically going over double positive like every map in S&D.
Yeah. That's insane.
That's literally like a 12-5 stat line on average. Like that's basically what he's rocking.
Yeah. No, that's nuts. Bad. And I don't know. I just feel like MC's he's so good at just like picking his spots and his awareness and everything. He just knows what to do. He's been doing this for a long time. I know he's young, but he's been doing it since he was fresh out the womb. This guy got banned from IW8s because he was 16 and everybody thought he was cheating and keyboarding, so they fucking got him out of date. But good plays out of MC. 2.68 is fucking nuts. TJ Haley with the snipe. Pat, Chris, what do you guys think? I thought I heard you guys say you didn't like it that much.
I guess it's weird because I look at this roster and I don't really know who else would do it. But I just have always thought of TJ as a playmaker. And I think that's what always made him so good at search was his kind of
this is what I wanted
style of S&D and the way how annoying he can be in search. Obviously I get their game plan. They want to have a sniper, but I think it does kind of a disservice to him as a player because of what he's capable of. But
yeah,
can I get your guys' opinion on something? What the fuck is FaZe doing this round? Look at the minimap right now. Look where Beezy is, and look where his team is.
Speed of like he's so fast.
But I mean, bro, once you run through the middle of the map and a Beezy's calling out, yo, there's nothing mid. I'm in their church, and then he gets a kill here and dies and sees 3 guys. Like literally, like he turns here, right? He dies. He sees. Okay, he only sees 1, right? He gets a kill. But how does he? And then you have a guy shimmying A and sees nothing there.
From like the beginning.
Like what was their thought process
he just
here?
ran straight
I don't even know if this is a question of what is FaZe doing is like what is Boston doing? Okay, they stack this, but then they're just like
no. Right
that was
here.
An early ass wrap, by the way. I don't even know if they would have crossed A in time for how fast they wrapped.
But I just feel like right here you have number 2 shimmying with the bomb, right? It's Arceus. He sees nothing A. Abeezy's already pushed up church.
And he saw nothing there side A.
Like bomb should be down right now. Like bomb should be going down. Like the call should be made.
And then playing for the late plant clutch from player 1.
They still won the map. They still won the map.
I don't think they expected Abeezy to get there as fast. He kind of just made the decision preemptively solo.
He just ran.
At the same time, Boston, if they're gonna stack this site, they have nobody mid. And can't you just like hit mid and just insta plant the bomb?
That's what I was gonna say. Well, no. I was gonna say why does Boston wrap? Like why not commit? Why, if you're gonna hit out A, right? If you're gonna say like, fuck it, we're gonna blind counter A, hit it out. Like,
and you see no one there, get pressure on it.
Nothing. They could have flanked.
That was a weird wrap from them. That was weird. They like pre-popped it. They pre-fired the wrap.
It's not like FaZe is known to have some fast B strat, right? Where they just rush plant B. So that was a weird ass wrap. And it's not like they wrapped church. They wrapped their spawn. So
they didn't get any info mid. I feel like you can throw a stun over the bushes over here off the rip of the round and at least get information that they're potentially hitting mid. So they just let Abeezy get into church for free.
And then they just put their
I think they just put their eggs in one basket and they just
dumped the basket.
And then
they dumped the basket. They got rid of that shit
and then started stomping on the eggs. Like
there's definitely some questionable plays from both sides. Honestly, I didn't know what the hell was going on. That was one of the weirdest rounds I've ever seen. And then also, another thing about this map is FaZe couldn't win an offense on the easiest offensive map ever. They couldn't win. They lost like 4 straight offenses, 3 or 4 straight. They couldn't win, and I don't know how or why that was happening. I just don't know. Do you think teams are just getting better now at the defense on Tuscan? They're just figuring out ways to constantly retake and constantly put that pressure. What do you think?
It just comes down. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I think that's part of it, but they also weren't getting bombed down much. And And I think for a team like FaZe, when you get bombed down, I feel like they're so like even harder to beat, right? I feel like they're letting teams beat them if they kind of play a one life style and they're just other teams playing annoying against them. I feel like if FaZe had the bomb planted and had that setup, they're not like that team is not going to lose a good setup that they came up with.
The reason
there's just holes. There's just holes in their gameplay right there. I don't know if you noticed it, but Cell is basically the only one holding mid, and he's in a spot where he can only see the top side of the church, and they just run out the bottom, no fucks given, and they get underneath Cell, and they get free kills. They kill the guy on the bomb, and another guy gets underneath and kills another player. You shouldn't just have one person watching mid ever on this map. Like it's so difficult for that person to watch mid because he not only has to watch a sandbag angle from the top of the church, he has to watch the ladder angle, and then they can also come out the bottom door. So if a team is actually just aware that there's only one person watching it and they're there, they can just bait and switch them, get them out, and just easily take mid control, which is basically what happened. They just got it for free.
Yep. And then this round, Chris, I think this was another mistake. This was a mistake from Boston. The reason why I'm going to the 3-4 round, Chris Pat, is because this to me was the swing round. Simp clutches the 1v2, and Boston also just, I don't know what they're doing here. So that he gets on the bomb site, he goes bottom church with the bomb. They die, he gets a trade, 3v3, cool, whatever. He has the bomb bottom church, right? At this point, you have a guy shimmying back A. You have both your teammates back A. Why does he push with the bomb and challenge church again? Like they did the hard part, they got the trades, they back up. He solo chows church. He doesn't even shoot.
That was just faded.
Bomb goes down in church now. Now
Especially
Tony.
Look at where his teammates are.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like now Tony and fucking Nero, they gotta figure out. Okay, now they gotta play the bomb. I'm sure FaZe knows the bomb is there. It just makes it a lot harder on Boston.
Especially with 2 ARs, right? Like
So then
AR and a sub.
And then Nero makes the play. Nero somehow makes the play and pops 2. But Simp able to clutch the 1v2 and tie us up at 4. I mean, 4-4 is looking a lot different than 5-3 in favor of Boston. So this could have went Boston's way this map.
I'm not trying to. Sorry, my bad. I'm not trying to put blame on like Cap or anything, but like if anything, like obviously that's a bad play that he's doing. Yeah. But at the same time, you would think somebody should be saying, "Come plant the bomb."
Right, somebody
should be saying to plant the bomb. There's no reason for him to be there, and if maybe he just didn't listen, I'm not gonna. Obviously, I don't know what's going on. I'm not defending the guy, but in my opinion, if somebody's telling him to plant the bomb, he wouldn't have done that.
Like that
Zinni, I think you could see the bomb. So if you wide plant, but Simp read it. He knew exactly what they were setting up. He was able to kill Nero, and the reason why I think Simp picked up on that is because of where Nero was playing after he planted that bomb. He backed up towards the arch side. He backed up towards arch, which means that he probably planted for that direction. And then once that happens, look at the heads up play of Simp. He rotates into church and he holds. He holds here. He doesn't move. He holds. He reads this like a book. And Tony just comes walking in. Tony comes walking in. He has no idea what's going on. It was also very weird that Simp got the kill back left, and Tony it's almost like he didn't even acknowledge that Simp was back there.
Maybe Nero called out that he wrapped back B or something, like some you know when you die and you kind of panic, you kind of give a bullshit call out that you don't really have 100% info on. Maybe that was the case because Zinni played that really weird.
Yeah, this was an interesting play out of FaZe. They break mid and left like towards A. But they end up bringing the bomb back. They rotate it back through well, which we haven't seen this that much. Like, I haven't seen something like this yet. They throw tax. They trade it. They get some trades. TJ gets a grenade kill. Simp gets a grenade kill, 3v3. But they rotate a bomb through well. And they push out B side here, which I kind of like the play. You don't see it often. They were able to find a pick. They get the bomb down, use their numbers, and they win the offensive round here. So it's just a good play. It's just weird that they're losing every offensive round. The one round they win, they just do this weird play going over to the B site that I've never seen. Really good plays out of Varsities there. Good shots there. Makes it a 3v1.
Yeah, you know what would have worked really well this round?
What?
That Boston 4-hit A, wrap B.
Yeah, the one they used the first round.
Yeah.
Or at
I don't
that
think it's
point,
necessarily a bad play though, Tom, because once they get that kill, the person that's either watching the B push, he's either flanking, and at that point they're doubling him, so they're going to trade him.
Yeah.
Or 2, he's giving it up to go help his teammates A because they just got that exchange, and they don't have they had at that point they had no map control. If you saw where their positions were, they had no map control mid. So in their heads, they're probably like, okay, they're gonna have they're gonna go for a bomb plant, so that's why there's nobody there, and it just works out for them.
Yeah,
So I don't think it's a bad play at all.
No, it was a good play. I mean, I wasn't saying it was a bad play. It was just an unusual play. I haven't seen an offensive team kind of work mid and A control, but then after they get mid control, they rotate through well and bring it to B. It was just a route you don't usually see, and I thought it was a pretty good play. Tony was struggling a little bit. Had a breadstick this map, so definitely he's probably kicking himself for that one. But what are you gonna do? Sometimes you have bad maps. It was Arcides leading the way, 9 and 7. Great play out of Alec here, by the way. He gets pushed up middle by himself, which, hey, the aggression coming out of Arcides, you don't see that a lot. But Arcides coming out with the aggression, he gets pushed up right into this corner here, and he just gets him off the bomb. So just good heads up play out of
And this
Alec.
is why you don't have one person play mid ever. It's it's so easy. Most of the time, if he's playing mid, he's playing the head glitch in the mid alley, which it's easy to get the guy off that spot or like stun nade him.
Yeah.
Or he's playing top fire, and if you can ward him off top fire for a second, you basically just give up all the mid control. You have to on offense. You need to establish at least like a 2-person setup mid, or if you're gonna play 1-person mid, you have to understand that it's not completely clear.
Yeah.
It's not feasible to do.
Yeah. And I like how FaZe retook that A site as well. After they got some trades, got some numbers, they weren't scared to make a play, which I think was a really good heads up play out of them. Obviously, Boston, they try to wrap, but Simp is all over it. They get the kills. They win the S&D. They go up 2-0, and then we go into the control, which ended up being a Tuscan control. And again, FaZe taking care of business, doing what they do.
Why'd you say it like that?
Because that's how I say it in GTA, and they love it. Basis. It's like my. Bro, it's funny too, because sometimes I get comments and people are like, "Why the fuck is he talking like that?" And I'm like, it's just a habit now from fucking GTA RP, bro. It's fucking completely changed me. But this is really cool. Why is Crim6 calling me? Does he
like
not?
On the phone?
Yeah, on the phone. Porter's calling me right now.
Pick up.
Porter, I'm doing the flank, bro. Yeah, I'm live right now. We got 10,000 people in here live, and you're calling me. You want me to mute?
Oh, here we go.
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right, Pat, Chris, take it over.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so Stream, this is impossible to take over because Tom failed to mention that we cannot control the stream. But listen, look, we're going to take something else over while Tom's on the phone. Stream, as you know, fuck Crim, by the way. Forget that guy. As you know, I announced I joined Ubisoft, working on a new game. Listen, I really want you guys to be involved, man. There's 9,000 of you in here. And yeah, there's some closed testing coming up, and I want you guys to register and get involved. I obviously have an awesome role on the dev team. And yeah, your feedback, I'm super interested in, and it's super important to making that game the best it can be. So if you didn't hear in the earlier, some of you may be watching on YouTube. I did make a Twitter. Oh, what's up, Tom? You back?
No, this guy is fucking nuts, bro. He's fucking nuts.
Okay. Well, let me just finish real quick, Tom. Before
Go ahead, Pat. Go ahead.
Yeah, just so you guys know, the link is www.playxdefiant.com. You can register and put in your, what platform you're on, everything like that. And yeah, you'll be informed and up to date when that becomes available. So yeah, I just want to give that shout out while Tom was handling business with Fat6. And yeah, so what were you saying, Tom?
Nothing. Porter, he's a dumbass, bro. It's nothing. I said, Porter, he called me like it was important, and then when he told me what it was, I said, Porter, what, bro? I'll talk to you later. And he said, okay. He started laughing. He's okay. My bad.
Nothing important at all.
No, nothing important at all. I promise you that.
He probably bought a new gun and like wanted to show you.
Yeah, you know how he is.
New set of night vision goggles, maybe. Yeah.
He goes, "You're streaming right now?" I said, "Porter, I'm always streaming. Always. I'm live every day for hours.
10 hours a day.
That's what I do. I'm a grinder." But listen, I think we should get into this listening with the Boston Breach. See how they sound. They were able to come out, win the first defense on a control here in Tuscan. Let's see how the guys were common, even though they did lose here. Let's see if we could pick up anything in the comms.
No, RCD's fucking top church, man.
Is it my mid or no?
No one has shit.
I'm trying to come down.
Top church dead.
Nice, I'm getting our side you. Then their side.
Low church.
I'm getting their side you. I'm getting their side you.
Top green.
I'm watching mid. I'm watching their our
I
side.
just want deep. It could be our mid pinch.
Look at our
mid.
Nice.
We have a. I had a side.
Mid. Our side you. Our side you.
Who is it? Simp was top green, I think. 5.5.
Let's go
Let's go left. Fire. Yo, back church me, back church.
I'll play this guy fire.
One's in church too, in church and back church. I'm weak to the
I don't see anything fire.
One's back left.
One church.
Nice. I'm challenging. Let's go. Church.
What's the BP5?
Church. I'm starting to see deep, okay, Dizon? I see deep. Yeah, church.
I'm going top green.
Let's go top. I'm with you, yeah. I'm sitting plat. Yo, plat. I'm weak. We're in top green.
Nothing green.
I'm green top plat.
The good old church rush.
Yeah, yo, plat. Right corner.
I'm going top. I'm playing flat.
I'm second. What's gonna be behind us? I have top green repinch.
I sent flat.
Top plat. Give me. Someone. Green. Top green. All good. Top green. Come right with me. Okay. Playing low right here.
Good time. I got a both.
That's just it. Deep right on yours. Push up. You know you're there. Push out. Nice.
Got three.
Nice. Yeah, I still close.
Oh, yeah, I remember this. He's finesse.
I'll get green. I'll get church out.
What's my L?
I couldn't get it, bro. I couldn't get it. Yo, we get the back.
What's watch? Come on.
Well, it could be
Bro,
plat.
BZ is so
I got
good
one
at
and one
getting the
back out.
opening kill, man. It's
Back out.
actually absurd.
Yep, Simple's back out.
Like that kill he got, that he killed Cap when he kind of flanked Church fast.
Yeah.
That was so important, and he's so good at winning those like important opening duels, and those are like saving moments, right? Like that could have led to full top control for them. He obviously wouldn't have had control of that. They could have pushed out, maybe won a couple more fights, stack point, like. But that one kill just interrupted Boston.
It just makes the game easier.
Well, I mean, listen, Boston did what they got to do to get into the point with Simp, who shut it down again. I mean, he comes in and just pops a three-piece.
Yeah, but I'm talking about that first kill by Abizi because it made somebody turn around, and then it opens up that gap for Simp to then do what Simp obviously does. So,
right.
Yeah, I think Abizi. That's why when people kind of talk about the Simp Abizi debate, they obviously play a lot different style, but those kind of plays are so impactful. Like they're monumentally impactful. And obviously, you know, when you can rely on Simp to come in and kind of clean house after the fact, that's a good thing to have. But yeah, I mean, Abizi kind of makes those plays so much easier on all of his teammates.
Talking about the listening, Tom.
Yeah,
the
ahead,
only
Chris.
thing I will notice is that Cap sounds a little bit like frantic. Maybe it's just like
A little bit.
I didn't want to say it.
Yeah,
but
maybe a lot of bit.
He sounds pretty frantic.
He's a young player. He is a young player. He is a young player. Yeah.
But also just talking about that one play that you actually got to see in the listen-in, I don't think it's very smart of them to ever give up that top control to stack unless they are completely 100% sure that there's no way anyone else is up there.
Agreed.
It's
top green you're talking about, right? Top green, top windows, top
green,
radio, whatever. There's fucking
that is
8 different fucking call-outs for that.
There's a spot where if somebody's up there, like you essentially will just shatter your entire push single-handedly, and basically what happened for them when they stacked. It was just too much of a gamble for them to let go of.
Agreed. And then we get into the offensive round, and this is where FaZe was able to squeak one. I really like off the rip. The reason I pause it here is because they do an A hit off the rip. They get a couple takes, but they get those roof spawns, and they instantly hit towards B side, and they do it quick, decisive, Pat. They hit that B side. I love it because it's a big word. If you're a professional Call of Duty player, you have to be decisive, or you're gonna get caught. You're gonna lose. The best of the best players are all decisive. They make plays instantly. They never think, or they think, but they don't hesitate. And then they were able to get B off the rip. I mean, they get onto the point. They get the kills. Boston is kind of forced now to play A, and there's already 2 ticks on A. I think something that really caught my eye in this round here was the long route that Abizi was able to take off the end of this round. You can see right here, you got a minute and 50 to work with. You have a life advantage. I like that Abizi takes his time and hits the route. The reason why I'm highlighting it is because sometimes you see players and teams not even take routes like this, don't even do this. But a good heads-up play out of Abizi. He does it early. Sometimes you'll see teams that they'll be put in a blender, and then once it gets to like 20 seconds, like, okay, dude, please, somebody like hit a long route, like somebody do something. Abizi does it right away. He gets in behind him. He gets a kill, dies, but that kind of opens up the site for him, and they drain lives down, right? So just good plays. It allows for Sim to get pushed up, get kills. Good job out of Abizi to take that route, and good job out of FaZe to take the offense. I think once they won the offense, it was over. They go on to win the defense. Boston has towards the end of this round, it got a little mixy. I think there was. Were you watching this with us, Pat? I think a lot of people in the team speak when we were watching were confused by this play by Boston.
With you, but I was definitely watching.
What did you think about this play by Boston? Four lives for FaZe, 6 lives for Boston with 15 seconds left. They have 2.5 ticks, and look how they play this. TJ runs down middle alley by himself.
Yeah, this was a
he
panic
dies.
play.
Then the rest of them push through green. They don't even go plat. They just run right through green and jump out the windows. And FaZe just puts them in a blender.
I think this came down to Teej. I think he just jumped the gun. I don't know what the comms were like, but I think he just jumped the gun. And then once you're, one of your teammates makes kind of a play like that, it honestly kind of fucks everyone else over, because then people try to compensate, right? They're like, oh, well, fuck, like now we got to try and make something happen. The time's dwindling. I think Teej just jumped the gun. I think they still had enough time. Like you said, they had 2.5 ticks. Like, they could have stopped that clock at any point in time and still won it. They just needed to get one kill. Like, you should have used. They were obviously close to the point. They need to use that time and get a kill, and then it would have been so much easier. But I think he just jumped the gun, got a little frantic, thinking it was going to end if he didn't make that play, and it just fell apart from there.
The way that should go is the two people that are in green either commit to plat, or they go out green, they get on the point. That makes the person that's plat have to look towards point, makes the person that's either side arches or teaches have to come out of church or make a play there, and then like those people just collapse after. But Teach definitely jumped the gun.
Yep. And then before we get into the OpTic series against Seattle, we had a banger of a series in this one. The Los Angeles Thieves going up against the Toronto Ultra. Pat had LA Thieves winning this whole event. He has Toronto Ultra winning the 2022 World Championship. Pat, these are like your two top teams right now, your two favorite teams going at it. Here's the vetoes. Anything that caught your eye, anything that pissed you off.
Yeah, Tom, something pissed me off bad.
I know.
What? Okay, what are the Thieves doing banning Gavutu?
I don't know, Pat. I don't know.
Why would you won the coin toss. You literally won it.
Well, JCap told you why on Twitter. What was it?
It made no sense. I don't care if they're 2-0 against them. I don't care if they're 30-0 against them. You got Octane, Kenny, Draza, players that are really good with ARs, and this isn't to say Ultra's not, but going against the likes of like Kleenex and Cammy and Bance, finesse, fast-paced submachine gun players. Why would you want to play them on a map like Tuscan? Yes, you won it at the kickoff and you won it in one of your matches online. I don't care. Like, those series were also determined by who got defense game 5 or round 5 in that control. Obviously on this side, Toronto got the defense round 5.
Yeah.
But not coin toss. I'm sorry. The seed. They were higher seed. Why risk it, right? I feel like they just stand such a better chance on a map like Gavutu, a map where Sam and Kenny can post up and kind of like stop Kleenex and Cammy from just being finessey and getting up, up close and personal. And we've seen how Toronto plays Tuscan. I think they let those two series kind of go to their head, because I truly believe that LA Thieves is a better Gavutu team 9 times out of 10 and compared to Toronto.
Yeah.
And when you're the higher seed and you get to pick, like, you should easily just make that decision to play your strongest map, regardless of what your previous records are, especially when those previous records were determined by round 5 defenses, which we know is so strong.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Cap's thought process was that bad. I mean, they were 2-0 on Tuscan against Toronto.
Yeah, so, but 2-0 on Tuscan against Toronto, but I think they're overall better on Gavutu. Gavutu. They were using that series score.
Well, Pat, you know how they like to talk too. I mean, you know how they are. Don't play us on Gavutu. Don't play us on Gavutu.
There's literally a meme that they tweet out when they play rank play together. Like, I don't understand. This LA Thieves team, to me, is made for this Gavutu map or Gavutu, whatever you want to call it. It's ideal for them in all modes. If there was search on it, I'd rather see them play S&D. But so Ken's in the chat and said it was based more on their scrims. I mean, I don't know if that's the online scrims, the LAN scrims. Look, Ken, you're on LAN. You, Sam, with an AR. I got full confidence in you guys to win this map against Ultra. And when we went into the series, I thought it was going to be a 3-2. Don't get me wrong. But I knew you guys were going to win both the hardpoints. You're clearly the best hardpoint team in the game right now. And to me, like, Toronto is an amazing search team. Like, we kind of see they can string together rounds like nothing. But I think you guys had the opportunity to be higher seed and really have an edge to play Gavutu. And yeah, you guys picked. You kind of rolled the dice for me, right? Like, if you play Tuscan, it's just so dependent on who gets that round 5 defense. And in that case, it's anybody could win. But I think on Gavutu, you guys will just outslay, almost guarantee the defense for yourself just on raw slaying power.
Just put it this way: if the other team, if Toronto had the pick, they're probably picking Tuscan Control.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Every time, yeah. They probably, bro. When Marky B saw Cap go, yeah, we'll ban Gavutsu. He was probably like, he started salivating in his mouth, trying not to smile. And I've been in that position before, right? Where you're doing vetoes against a team and they allow you to get the map you want on their pick. Bro, nothing makes you happier when that happens. I'm no bullshit. That is the best feeling in the world when you're doing vetoes and the team is like, yeah, we'll pick, and in my case in World War II, we'll pick St. Marie Hardpoint. Bro, I just start salivating because like they picked your best map. And I think that's what happened here on this Toronto thing. And yeah, I wouldn't necessarily use the fact that your matchup for them or your scrims versus them. I think it's simply like, hey, your strengths are Gavutsu and Toronto's weakness is Gavutsu. So just play them on that map. Yeah, that's just my 2 cents though.
Scrims or not, you have 2 map choices and you know, like you're good at both. And you feel confident on both, and you know what they would pick. You just pick the other one. Yeah.
Let's go into the listening with LA Thieves. Let's see how they're comment. I know they have probably some of the best comms in the league. So let's tune in and hear they sound.
They're both one weak. They're all weak. All weak. I play new, bro. I'm gonna help this kind of. Yeah, Jamie Arnold. Jamie Arnold. I hit him. I got him. We are missing Toby. We are missing Toby.
Gotta wipe all that
One deep cut. I can get him. I hear you deep cut. Outer, absolutely. Okay, I have the deep cut. Deep cut. All right, Toby on me right. Okay. I'm their front green, bro. I'm their front green. They're gonna be liver. I can lick Tom from top radio. Top radio. Radio. Got radio. RTD on the radio on me. I can't help you. Radio dead. Nice. I'm telling Tom dead. Nice. Good job, Ken. Good job. I'm getting over deal. I need over deal. Top green. Dead. I just like hold it. Tell me mid probably, bros. Back green. And top green. I'm looking at top green only, bros. Yeah. Outright. I got it. Half health though. Hey, hard play Tom. We are. Okay. They can be all got it. Still got it. I have a push. I'm picking up our low beat. Close. Boom, set it. Nice, still got it. Last guy, hard down. Here, I've been mid too. Take full. On the rim. Tell he's gone. Dead. Stairs. I can cover. Circle steps. Bunk weak. I'm going there. Top green. I'll be help green. I'm looking top radio. One top radio. I'm gonna try to play me off. Alright, take our top. This is the game right here, bro. This is the game right here. Break this shit, we win. One shot top green.
Alright. I was confused by that when he said this is the game right here.
Radio. Absolute radio. Are you radio? Yep.
They just basically said in their head they break the next hill and they hold it. Like they have such an insurmountable lead, they probably don't lose.
Yeah. That's what I'm guessing. It's just like because Toronto had the rotation, like if they get the break, like they'll get some time on it. It's still pretty early in the game.
But good comms.
Hectic, but it works, I guess. I mean,
it wasn't too hectic. It wasn't that hectic. I feel like they were just had a lot of energy.
Yeah, I can agree with that. But I think it was more hectic than that kind of like listening clip we saw where I think it was that Tuscan hardpoint where I was like, damn, like these were near perfect comms. Like they were very calm, very concise. They were tracking perfectly. I think it was a little bit more hectic than that. That's kind of what we compare it to. We kind of set that standard for how good their comms sounded. But overall it wasn't bad. I mean, it's a LAN environment. You're hype. You're playing with a lot of energy. So I thought it was still overall pretty good.
Yeah. Looking at the note sheet, I remember this play by Envoy that I wrote down. Really like this here. What did Kenny say in the chat? Meaning that if we win P1 and insta break P2, it'll lead us into winning mentally. Yeah, I get it now.
Yeah,
I get it. At first, when you heard it in the listening, I was like, well, they're up 30. You know what I'm saying? But whatever floats your boat. Definitely get the confidence going. This was a really good play by Envoy. It's a P3 hill. I think at this point, LA Thieves got like a 40 point lead right after they get this 15.
Let's just play the game.
Envoy makes the play of the game, closes it out. He finds a gap to the middle. He literally somehow sneaks through the whole team. Doesn't shoot at one of the other guys. He sneaks by, holds his trigger, 200 IQ, heads up play. Yeah. He ends up flanking a guy in Hill, gets the kill in Hill, stays down. Teammates flood in ring, and they look over him, and the game's over. Pretty much. They obviously don't win it here, but after this, I mean, they get such a big lead. It was just such a great play.
Cammy?
Kleenex on the point. He killed Kleenex on the point.
Kleenex was probably mind blown.
Oh, he was so pissed. He was so
probably
pissed.
like, yo, what the fuck? Did he spawn there? He was probably so confused.
They end up going rogue after that. They rotate to the next, and they win the game there. So just good heads up play out of Envoy. Definitely wanted to highlight that a little bit just because I thought that was a really good play by him. And then we get into the S&D. And this is where we saw Insight bringing out the sniper a little bit. And the first thing that we said when we were watching back the map, it was like Insight with the snipe. I mean, have we seen that before? Has anybody, Chris, Pat, you guys seen Insight with a snipe this year at all or ever?
I think he sniped a map or two, but I haven't seen it on Tuscan out of them.
I didn't know if he was actually sniping in those maps or just like fucking picking it up or some shit. I don't know. I couldn't remember him actually sniping, but he was different today with the snipe. He was definitely making plays. But let's tune
disgusting.
Let's tune in a little bit to the S&D. It was the Octane Insight battle over here at this A site, which we haven't really seen yet too much. A sniper battle over towards the A side. We've seen it a few times here or there, but I just feel like these guys are definitely trading back and forth. That the game felt really slowed down. I just felt like they were just in here waiting for picks, and both teams kind of had the same idea. But you can see Octane, he was holding that angle right there. He was able to get the better of Insight right there. So good plays out of him. I actually like the way that LA Thieves were set up here. You can see that somebody had Octane's left, right? So nobody can run up on him with the snipe. And then he was just kind of holding that long range angle with the... Bro, can you imagine if Kleenex clutched this 1v4?
That would have been gross. Was he out of ammo? He was out of ammo, right?
He had four bullets. Four bullets left, I think.
8 HP. He was actually one shot, so it didn't matter.
But just, bro, I mean, he got three guys. Bro, honestly, LA Thieves was lucky that they were all four, like, kind of in the same area, you know? Because, like, after 3, if he regens there and gets out to 1v1, and anything could happen.
Yeah, if he would have went forward instead of backwards, he makes that mixy for sure.
Yeah, so really, really good round. Really good round out of LAT. Well, almost a bad round, but good round out of LATs. They clutch it up. Jaws' face was comedy after I wonder what their comms are like after he got the kill. You have Kenny in the chat saying the auto is OP, by the way. Do it all P40. Wait, the auto is OP? I thought the MP40 everybody was saying was OP. But the auto is interesting. I've never heard somebody say the auto is interesting. Amwood was making plays all day, by the way. Well, this guy, he was different today.
Good, but the auto just, I don't know if it's a visible thing, like in
it's sarcasm. Oh, it's sarcastic, by the way. Okay, I didn't.
I thought he was saying okay.
Okay, no, I don't. I can't pick up on that.
But I do feel like the auto has like a visible faster time to kill sometimes. But I think it's mostly when there's the headshot multiplier involved. Obviously, the MP40 shreds up close. But yeah, some of those kills with the auto looks insane when they're like they get those headshots. Like
it's the headshot multi.
Nuts.
I think it actually like 100% gives you a one bullet advantage per like headshot. I think it does.
We had
you like strictly get headshots.
My bad, Pat. I thought you were done. I was just gonna say we had an insight clutch in the 2-2 round right here. Definitely want to tune in and show everybody what this guy can do. But you see Insight instantly gets a trade with that sniper rifle. Big plays out of him, makes it a 1v2 situation. Bombs down with 30 seconds. Let's see how Insight decided to play this one. Ends up getting an MP40 from his teammate. Not sure if Envoy... I wasn't sure what Envoy was doing here. I mean, bombs down. They know where Insight is. And they also have full control top fire. They can see the bomb, right? So why is Envoy even here?
He should have just ran.
As soon as Insight gets a snipe here, Envoy should immediately just run out you. Run to mid-map and get the fuck out of there. Just go fire. Just back up. There's nothing else to do, you know? So it was an interesting play. Interesting play out of Envoy. He gets caught with his pants down. And then after that, Draws is left in a 1v1 situation. He ends up wrapping the map, but Insight ends up finding him you. Which I was also surprised, I guess maybe to where it was planted. Maybe where the bomb... Oh, they planted it on the backside, so you couldn't even see it up top. Yeah. Which was interesting.
I still probably would have played up top. Either way, I feel like.
I still would have just played away from where he was.
That too, but I feel like even though the bomb's not planted correctly, like you could still play up top. And with the amount of time that was left, like you gotta think, when Insight killed Envoy, there was only like 20-some seconds left. It's not like, you know, you had to stall that long.
Yeah.
And if you're just up top holding the site, like I have faith you're gonna win that fight. And Insight's probably not gonna think you're up top because of where the bomb was planted anyway. So.
I mean, Insight wouldn't know the bomb is planted there until he gets around the corner, and by that time he gets around the corner, he's checking and expecting a top fire, regardless of the fact.
Well, he wouldn't have had enough time though.
Yeah, regardless of the fact, they just need to, like, it doesn't even matter where the bomb is planted. That site is just so open, and it's so easy to see the guy actually get to the bomb. They just have to literally make sure that they see him. And once they see him, the round's over. So it didn't even matter. They just played that really sloppy. And Draza just picked the most random corner after he just shit himself.
It wasn't the best. It wasn't the best corner.
It's like, what the
fuck? I mean, with 9-10 seconds left, he probably just thought just chill. I mean, I don't think he was shitting himself. I think he thought he was over. I mean, I don't think Draza's shitting himself. I mean, he plays with confidence, but you know how it is. You know, and when you're in a 1v1 clutch in S&D on stage, like your heart is pumping. At least mine used to. I don't know about you guys, but my heart used to 100%. Pump. You know,
I just don't think that, like, by the time you check the bomb, there's 0.000 chance the guy's coming up behind him at this point. Like, he knows that the enemy player has to be in mid, and he was just kind of like sitting in a corner, not really like focused on it. It just didn't make sense to me. That's why I said he was doing that.
And this round was interesting too. The bomb getting pushed up all the way. How did the bomb? They end up bringing the bomb all the way back. Why didn't LA Thieves just go B here?
Yeah, I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, they're all A. Your teammate just died. You know they're here. You throw it in A. You see him. You shimmy. You back out. You hit church. You have Draza flanking A. I just feel like right here, especially when Draza gets the kill and he dies there, I mean, Envoy should just chalk up that kill and just hit B, especially with Kenny at B side. Just call it out. Just be like, yo, I'm B. Like, just come B. He ends up playing A side here. Which was an interesting play. Just a really interesting play. I thought they were just gonna play B and just keep it simple. But they end up rotating it back, and then once Kenny goes down, or once Envoy goes down, Kenny's left in a 1v2. Toronto do a good job, just draining out the time and winning the round. So after that, it was pretty much over. Insight clutches. I felt like LA Thieves threw that round there, and then after that, it was for me, it was chalked. I thought Toronto, they were gonna go out and close it.
That's back-to-back rounds, right? That we feel like
LA Thieves could have won.
Yeah, Thieves just threw it.
Right.
Like that Envoy and Draza just kind of playing just, airheaded almost, right? Like just not thinking regarding there's a sniper. And then right there, like, yeah, Ken's at B, has full control. Your teammate just died to a guy at A. You have the information and B's completely open, just wrap plant. Like those are two simple rounds where if you just put a little extra thought process, you easily win those rounds.
Yep. First round, we go into the Tuscan control. It was Benjamin Bance who was making fucking plays. Just Benjamin Bance doing what Bance does. And some people were talking about it in our team speak. Do you think Bance is one of the best, if not the best player in Toronto right now? Apparently, numbers-wise, he's the best. And he's been making plays. I mean, he's been consistent. Even today, he was consistently at the top, just doing what he does. I mean, he was really working the map here.
It's really hard, right? Because I feel like this team, like a few other teams, but this team, all four of these guys are so
That's
important,
what I was gonna say.
bro. Like, this, I genuinely feel like this team couldn't make a roster change and be the same. Like they're all to me 25% of this team. They're so equal and they have so much impact. I think they just mesh so well together. Like the way Bance plays, works perfectly in cohesion with the way Cammy and Kleenex play.
Yeah.
And the way Insight likes to play.
They need each other almost.
Yeah, 100%.
And
I feel like they're a unique team in that aspect, that it's kind of like an irreplaceable thing for them. So I think they're all, can be argued that they're all equally the most important and best player for the team.
Yeah.
It just depends on what we're trying to argue.
Right. No, I agree. I that's what I was going to say. The only reason I asked the question because I think it was Enable or Ian who said in the team speak that he thinks Bance is the best right now on Toronto. That's why I asked the question. And I just feel like every week we're hearing different we're saying Kleenex is the best. Next week, Cammy's the best. Insight's
That's a good
the best.
thing to have on a team, though.
100%.
When all of them are just showing out like that and having that impact.
100%. Listen, I want to go into the listening with Toronto Ultra. I know these guys, they have very calm, cool, and collected comms. It's kind of like the way they calm. They don't sound like any other team. But let's tune in and let's see how they sound.
Yeah, it's one top.
Hit me mid, two mid.
One low back church. P1 door, Jimmy. You hit flowers.
It was Jaws zone, one of it.
Weak left side. Hey.
Absolute the block, boy. Push me out. Can he push me out? Nice, boy. Nice, well played. PP. Just finesse him out. Just play box church. Just play box church. I'm gonna one P5.
Where you going?
He's in P5. Just play kills.
They're just having a conversation,
Kenny was in the back somewhere.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of their comms. That's how I've always, wanted to have comms on any team. It's just clean conversation.
Yeah.
I pushed the right. One absolute, and by the block, absolute. He's laying down on the mid.
Oh, Draza's top green, bro.
Where'd he go?
I don't know, he was just top green.
Go on. One push now.
Yo, P5?
Wait,
One push outside.
I can go
P5
James.
top church.
Mid, Johnson, that's it, you're leaving? I'm absolute, by the way.
Yeah, their
Wow.
calls never get hectic, bro.
Never.
Ever.
It sounds just like a nice normal conversation, like it seems like nothing. No matter, even if they're popping 3-4 pieces, they don't even get hyped.
Bro, it's so beautiful. I love it.
No, it is nice. It's really nice.
So nice. It's so nice to hear.
I feel like
ASMR.
I feel like it's easy to play when you hear stuff like that in your ear, like when it's nice and calm.
It's like ASMR.
It's like yeah.
No, kind of. I mean, I see what you're saying,
nice
by.
to hear, bro.
Listen,
He listens to Call of Duty comms to relax.
Don't go there.
his earphones and pulls up a Toronto Ultra.
I know what Chris meant by that for sure. I knew what he meant. It's very calming.
So nice,
it is nice. It is nice.
Coming from a competitor aspect, obviously you guys all competed, but just when you're just not getting your comms flooded, it allows you to think, dude, and that's the most important part. Just making good decisions prevents you from throwing in those like super crazy ego chows. But if you do throw them, at least you thought about it beforehand.
Yeah. I agree. I'm definitely a big fan of the comms. I don't the 2 or the 3 and 4 rounds I think were the offenses that were won by LA Thieves and by Toronto. You can see a streak being used here. So Kenny's gonna call a streak. That's kind of gonna open up the site. He doesn't connect to one, but he does get the info. It allows Draza and Octane to push up, get the kills, and then at this point, when you're in this position, and Chris, I know you play or you watch, and same with you, Pat. What do you guys think is the best play? Maybe push up, get kills, and then work a stack? Or what do you think is the best way to do it? You get the kills, you're pushing through B. Do you like them pushing out like that, or do you think they should have just stacked?
I think they could do either or. I'm a big fan of stacking, though, and I think it's hard for me to gauge because I haven't physically done it with a team to kind of know that timing. But from what I've seen so far, I feel like every team that's went for the stack has almost made it work, right? Like, I haven't. Have you seen any stacks fail yet?
But it's not. But the thing is what LA Thieves did there, Pat, is they got on the point and pushed out because they were stopping clock and draining lives, and that's how they ended up winning this round, right? So
that's a good point.
So like if they stack the point there and they all die because they get pummeled by nades and shit, now you don't have the life advantage and you don't have control and you don't have any of that shit. So I feel like we talk about stacks and stacks and stacks. But it's also very situational, depending on the lives and the time. Like, I felt like LA Thieves made a good play here, just pushing out and getting kills at this point.
They just didn't win all the fights. Like, that's all it came down to.
They already had one full tick, right? Or they had like 1.5.
Just 1.5. Well, basically one. I mean, they just got the other half right there at the last second. Yeah. But I think at this point, it was a good play. Because the lives were so low, I don't mind the fact that they didn't stack. I kind of like the play of stopping the clock and just continually draining the lives because they don't have any more left. And, it's very situational. But there's definitely a lot of times where people should be stacking and they're not. And it infuriates me. But definitely liked it. 1-1, and we know it can go round 5 for defense. True, and that's another thing too.
The thing is, it came down to the same amount of lives. They ended with a 5-kill lead that they would have had if they would have stacked. So it was like kind of equal. But either way, I think they were going to end that round with a 5.
That's a good point though, and that's the last time after this weekend. They're not even going to have to think like that anymore. It's going to be it's going to be points.
You want to cap.
You want to cap. You want to get the points because the whole game mode is going to change. For the better, I think.
Well,
for the better.
I actually have a question for Ken. So if you back it up, they I don't know if they showed the scoreboard before they went into this round, but they were up like 3 kills. I remember doing the math. All right, pause it before. Okay, so they just had 3. Oh wait, pause it right there before they right here.
You want me to pause it right here? Boom. Yeah. Like that. 3 off spawn
when it showed the scoreboard. So like back it up like 5 seconds where they had the scoreboard open.
Boom. I got you right here. How you doing?
Yeah, so let's see, kill wise, like 4 plus 8. So they're up in kills by like a 8. Decent.
Not even like 5, 4 or 5.
Yeah, but they actually get another kill right here after you unpause it.
Yeah.
So they're up like 6 kills. I feel like if I'm Thieves here, knowing the rules, I'm playing this round so kill hoary. Like, you know how good defense is on Tuscan, especially for a Thieves team. And I feel like the only way you lose this map is if Toronto manages to get defense. So the fact that they threw a 6-kill lead in this round and ended up not getting defense round 5.
Yeah.
So if we're talking about playing this map, right, between Gavutsu and Tuscan, then you at least got to guarantee yourself a defense in a round 5, right? Yeah. Like, you have the 2-1 advantage. You have a 6-kill lead. Do what you got to do to guarantee that, even if you lose this round. So yeah, that was the one thing that threw me off, because I remember it being 2-1 and counting those lives and being like, all right, they got this in the bag because they're slaying. But yeah, it just came down to
they were definitely trying to force kills, constantly trying to stop the point. And it was draining their lives. Yeah, it was draining their lives, and it was definitely biting them in the ass for sure.
They should have literally just chalked A and played exits instead of trying to force break it, and then that just created setups where they just started trading way too many kills.
This is unbelievable too.
And then it got to a point where they started trading so many kills that after Toronto capped A, they had presence on the map where you could have just suffocated them by just holding him in. And like initially.
Well, let's also talk about this. I mean, Cammy got to the back of the map because Octane, I don't know what the timings were like here, but it looked like Octane was shimmying. He just blinked. So Octane was holding the right. He gives it up, goes and picks up the left. As he goes to picks up the left, that's where Cammy sneaks in.
I wonder why he went and picked that up.
Yeah, he should have just held. He should have just stayed right side tank and just held the lane because he can see everything.
He waited for. I think it was. He waited. Yeah, Kenny died, and
no, because he can't see. He can't see Arch from back right initially. I don't think.
But either way, but let's go off the info they have, right? Like Kenny died and instantly got his trade. Unless Kenny's calling out that there's multiple people front, it's not like that's a priority pickup anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you look at it, there was only one person front. They got the trade right away. Yeah. So Sam necessarily doesn't have to shift. He just had to wait for whoever to respawn. What's the respawn timer in control? 5 seconds? Like he could have waited that out. That person then look, you see 3 spawn. Like I don't know. And I don't know the spawns exactly, but 3 would have spawned in the back
field. I mean, if you're pushed out back here, they spawn field.
If Cammy wasn't there, 3 would have spawned on Sam, no?
Yeah.
He would have spawned that back.
If Cammy wasn't here, he'd probably spawn back there.
As soon as 3 spawned out, they would have known. But either way, I think Sam should have waited, played for that spawn. Then as soon as that spawn happened, then you adjust what you have to watch. But it was a 4-second timing that wouldn't have changed anything on Sam's behalf, but it ended up changing the fact that Cammy got through.
Yep. And then at that point, Toronto, they were able to get in behind because of Cammy able to get to the back of the base. That just leads them to get pushed up and get a bunch of kills, and it leads to them draining the lives out.
So much harder.
Yeah, it makes it harder, and they got so many kills that now they got the defense. Now they got the defense going into the last round, and we know what happens after that. LA Thieves doing everything they can to try and do what they can do to win the offense, but on Tuscan control, we know how difficult that can be. And they just didn't. It wasn't enough for them. They didn't even have a tick here on B. Toronto did a good job just staying disciplined. They didn't force any plays. They held their lanes, held their crossfires. Bada bing, bada boom. How you doing? 2K basis. Isn't that
the way
right?
Toronto plays, bro, that's the last thing I would want to go up against. Like Toronto camping corners, being mixy, sliding around.
That just sounds annoying.
Yeah, that sounds like the worst possible experience, and I feel like that's what they would succeed in. So that's what I was kind of saying. Like gambling that defense is just it's rough.
Gambling the defense, it just came down to the control pick too. Like you were saying about Gavutu, it's like, or like picking Gavutu instead. It's just like, in my opinion, I don't play anymore, obviously, but historically from the way Toronto likes to play, playing them on a map like Tuscan sounds like absolute AIDS. Like there's so many corners and like ratty spots. So I don't know.
Yeah, because I feel like if you put LA Thieves on that Gavutsu, like they don't get outslayed. Like there's no way that even if they lose the map, I feel like they outslay just based on how LAT as a team plays. Like they play so control heavy, like controlling the map. Yeah, and you get to have Kenny and Sam post up on annoying ass headies and just lock down a lane. Like that's not necessarily the same way on Tuscan.
100%. And
then we get into the Berlin Hardpoint, and I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Berlin Hardpoint off the rip, Envoy was definitely Fugazi. Envoy was frying. And then the game crashed, which happened twice today, by the way. I don't know what's going on. Apparently, I texted Ben because obviously he's working some production down there. And Ben's telling me that it's a server issue, that the server was crashing, which is kind of out of their control, but just super infuriating as a viewer. And I'm sure as a player, I can only imagine Envoy, who gets off to a 12-3 start. He's frying about to get streaks. And next thing you know, that the game crashes. So this is the replay. And again, LA Thieves just the best hardpoint team in the game right now. I just feel like they were doing such a good job breaking. It was, I can actually rewind it because I have it written down, but it was the second P1 break from LA Thieves that I think won them this game. And you can see it right here. So Toronto, they get here early. This is a good chance for Toronto to bring this one back and maybe take a lead here. But look at the break from LA Thieves. They're hitting every lane here. You have number 1 who goes all the way outskirts. That's going to be Sam. He's going to be that AR kind of slow playing front. You have Envoy, who, of course, Envoy doing what he does, taking the long routes, right? Pinching out those spawns. And I just feel like they're being a nuisance here. They're coming from so many different angles and so many directions that Toronto just doesn't know where they are. They overwhelm the point from so many different angles. They break, and then at this point, they lock up the 40, they get a really big lead. I think when you give LA Thieves a lead like this, and they just stay ahead of rotations, and they keep working those breaks like they are, this was it for me. One here. This pretty much just led into the momentum into the rest of this map, because after that, I mean, LA Thieves was smooth sailing, doing what they do. So, good plays out of LA Thieves. I think that was like the biggest break. But what did you guys think? Anything else that caught your eye before we go into the last map? The P1,
like
the second P1 break was, to me, was just the momentum switch.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right, but it's just LA Thieves is hard point. And like we're talking about it on the shows before for a reason. These guys are just disgusting at hard point, and these two teams are like pretty evenly matched. Maybe like not all the maps were super close or anything like that, but one team is really dominant in hard point. And at least I know Toronto wasn't very good at search and destroy throughout the qualifier, but like historically, if you're looking at Cold War, they were really, really good at S&D. So it was only a matter of time before they start to get better at S&D. But like both these teams, they went back to back. One team won both S&Ds. One team won both hard points. And I mean, there's nothing really else to say about it, man. These guys are just a really evenly matched team.
Yeah, but I do think LA Thieves is just. I'm really glad to see their dominance in hardpoint. Kind of what you mentioned, even before the restart, like they just look nasty in hardpoint. It doesn't matter what map they play, and that's something that's going to carry them this whole year if they can kind of maintain how well they just play hardpoint. And they're playing the team that won the last LAN event on LAN, and we know how good Ultra is in general. So. Still a positive sentiment, but I do think like S&D wise, I don't know what it is exactly, but I just feel like these need to kind of almost revitalize the style at which they play S&D.
They started hot, Pat. They started 2-0,
right,
but it fell apart.
But I feel like once you start good, like you need to start throwing something at the other team that kind of catches them off. They kind of just play the same
Pat.
predictable style.
Check this strat out from Toronto. I've never seen this. Never. They bust through middle doors. Though. Yeah, this is cool. This is such a cool strat. He didn't get any snipes or anything, but just the idea behind it.
But doing something that kind of throws people off, right? I feel like these are just playing the same routine setup style like every single round, and they're not throwing other teams off, right? Like, yeah. I feel like they got to get a little more creative. And bro, you got Kenny, Envoy, Draza, like just get a little wild on them.
They were a couple rounds. Like Draza was challenging like off the
but very
B-site.
solo.
Yeah. But like they could do that on they could do that on the A end too. Like that was one of my favorite things to do back when like I was playing this game a couple like weeks ago. Or wait, how long has it been? Well, anyways, besides the point.
Time's moving fast, bro.
You can like easily push up that A site and get a lot of like mid presence and stuff like that. And there's definitely a lot more creative things they could have done. They kind of like turtled up, and I feel like that's when Toronto took advantage of it. And Toronto is a very, very smart S&D team. They're a team that if you give them space, they're going to take advantage of it, and they're going to work the hell out of you. Like, and I just don't think that's how you should play against Toronto. You gotta fight them like back with aggression, because that's when you give them space, like I said, that's when they're going to be really good.
And right there, really good snipes out of inside. This is where he really started to feel himself with the fucking snipe. This was an interesting play. Good corner out of Envoy, but I think his teammates just everybody died around him. What a shot out of Kleenex, by the way. Did you guys see that shot from Kleenex? Look, he's top middle jumping over this box. Just absolutely implodes Sam. You know Sam was not happy about that one, getting pinged by an MP40 like that in 2 bullets when he's doing this little jump up. So just good shots out of Kleenex and Insight to get those kills, to get those bloods. But it goes 3-2. Toronto bringing it back a little bit. Kenny, I see you in the chat. I don't know what you did, but I have it in my notebook that Kenny went rogue round 3-2. So let's check it out here and see what Kenny did, because I have it written down. Kenny goes rogue, and I don't remember. It was a lot of COD today, so we definitely got to take a look.
I remember this. Yeah.
So Kenny, Kenny. So Kenny makes the fucking play, and he gets one here. Like he makes a play. He gets pushed up, gets aggressive, gets one. But then he challenges Insight, shoots his sniper right there. Kenny knows he's there, and then Kenny just he tried to chow the snipe. You know, he tried to. I get the blood. Yeah, it didn't count. I think that the chow after that might have been a little rogue, and I shoot at Insight to try to get Zach out. Oh, is that what it was? Oh, Zach was trapped. Okay, that makes sense. You were trying to help Zach get out. That makes a lot of sense, because he was probably trapped in the corner. Kenny, Gizmo, what the fuck? At first, I thought you were just ego challenging because you were just feeling yourself. You know, sometimes you need a heat check like that, you know. But you end up challenging, and Insight gets the pick. So, good shots, honestly, out of Insight. It was a good play initially. But I think once they get the picks, they were able to work this site. And look at the timings here, by the way. Kenny, I don't know if you watch this back, but look at the timings here. You guys have the cross here. Like, number 4 has that. He ends up giving it up last second, but number 2 was kind of looking in that direction. Like he probably could have saw him here. Like you can see number 2 kind of looking towards that way. He definitely has peripherals there on that cross. And then as soon as he turns, boom, he crosses. Benjamin Bans, boom, right there, boom, boom. Benjamin Bans crosses as soon as he turns and gets through B. And at that point, I mean, once Ben is pushed up there and they have both sides pushed out, Toronto Ultra get the bomb down, and it was a really good round. Bad timing there. Caught timing at his finest. We go into the 3-3 round, and this is where things get interesting, man. LA Thieves to a hot start. Toronto maybe with some adapting. They bring it all the way back. It goes 3-3. And what was the round where Insight just goes crazy with the snipe? I forget which round it was.
Quickscope?
But this was an interesting round. This was right here, the 2-2 round. And Pat, you said that you think Insight missed his shot, but
I think he missed that side on Octane.
So this was the shot that he hits.
Right here. Hold on, can you put it in like
let's put it in, yeah, let's put it in slow-mo and let's see if he actually hit this here and let's see what's going on here. I think I've heard Octane say once that, bro, he shot his elbow, I think. Like his elbow or something.
Bro, yeah, I guess it was in that animation where he like his elbow went back and he was swapping guns, but like he completely missed on the screen, but it hit. The quick scope was obviously nasty. That hit. But yeah, that first shot, if you go back, I want to see that again. Can you pause it like right before he fires?
Yeah.
Try and get it as close as you can.
Yeah, I could do that. It's no problem, Pat. I could do anything you want me to do. Watch this.
Because it literally looked like he missed. I was like, wait, he didn't hit that. How did he kill that guy?
Yeah, let's take a look. Let's go back to the round.
A good shot, right? If the game registered it, and it was a nasty play.
Let me take it out of slow-mo and find it again.
But it confused the hell out of me when I was watching it.
I'm pretty sure he hit his elbow there. I think he hit his elbow. I think that's how he's able to
it looked like he hit the gun because his elbow went back in the animation to pick out the gun, right? Like you went like this, you're swapping weapons.
Yeah.
And then your elbow's gone, but the gun is still like coming out. And it looked like he hit the gun.
Either way, it's a good shot, and he barely got a glimpse of him. The game registered as a kill. Who knows? But
no, it was a good shot, bro.
Use your spacebar. Use your spacebar. You can spam it and then.
Nah, he hit his elbow. I think.
That is a quick reaction.
I think he hit his elbow for sure.
It's weird though, because Sam was moving forward. Like as he got shot, Sam was going back forward.
Yeah. Let me hear him up. Pause it right at the second.
Like Sam backs up, swaps weapons, and then goes to move
he hit his
forward.
elbow, I think. He hit his elbow. His elbow was sticking out.
Where's it sticking out at, Tom?
I don't care that he broke his elbow. I don't care that he broke his elbow.
That's caster, though. Like, it could be like a weird delay. Regardless, it's a hard shot to hit. He did hit it, so
no, they're putting ping on land. Did you hear that you see that new technology they have where they can like artificially inflate your ping?
Yeah, what the fuck? I just heard about that. What are they? How do they give somebody a ping? How does that work? I don't understand that.
Technology is crazy, man.
Technology is fucking crazy. I just don't understand how you can give somebody a ping. You know, like it just doesn't make sense to me. But it's interesting that they just figured that out. That guy's flipping people off in the crowd. By the way, you see this shit?
Yeah. Sorry.
You see this guy's flipping everybody off in the crowd. Look at this.
Either way, Insight is gross.
I feel like that's what you would do, Tom.
Oh, I've done it before. Look at this.
I've definitely done that.
This guy, well, people in the crowd are also just wild. They say a lot of crazy shit. Look, this guy, he's flipping off the OpTic fan right next to him. Like, that's fucked up. That is fucked up, bro.
That guy's got some balls. He's just sitting right next to him.
Yeah, dude. Some serious fucking cojones. But that was a really good round out of Toronto. I think that round was huge. That Insight fixed up more. He just took over. Insight just took over, bro.
What was Kenny doing here? I feel like Kenny got caught lacking. It was Kenny, right? Yeah, it was Kenny. I feel like he got caught lacking in this kill. Just over peeking. Like they knew the Insight sniping, like could kind of over peek that angle. It's not like he really got any info that he wouldn't have had if he was playing it safe.
Yeah.
I feel like he just got a little impatient trying to go for info and yeah,
he got picked.
That kill.
He got picked. It's what Insight does. But then at the same time, it's like I know his teammate was pushed up on a bomb, so he didn't really need the chow, but. Listen, you're gonna have to peek eventually. You know, you're gonna have to peek. So you know,
I'm not peeking on Desert Siege when you got Insight.
Not on the field, not there in the field.
Shooting air, getting hit marker, bro. I'm waiting for the bomb to be planted.
They should have just started playing way more aggressive. Like I'm not a fan of. You don't play this Toronto team too slow. You play into their like play style, and obviously the way the map was going, you know, Insight is hot with the sniper. You know he's not putting it away, so they're gonna be playing for him to get a pick. And if Sam stops sniping, they need to come out with some counter aggression. They shouldn't just sit there and rely on their setups that are going to be easily picked apart, because there's only so many places you can be on defense. This isn't the easiest defensive map, like, to be honest.
I fully agree with you. I just think I feel like they weren't doing either. I don't feel like they were playing slow, and they definitely weren't playing fast. I feel like they were like kind of playing in the middle, and that's what was allowing them to get picked so much. Like, if you're gonna play that slow style, and Chris, you know this from just playing a search in general for over the years, if you're gonna play that slow style, you're playing to not get picked. That is literally your game plan. Like, you're sitting there like, yo, we can't get picked. Pick a fucking corner, an angle, whatever it is, where you cannot get picked, and make them plant the bomb. That's the style you want to play. But they were kind of playing that like in between role where they were getting picked a lot. And then Tom, if you want to back it up and go through that Benjamin Bance,
I was gonna say, and then Bance ended it. He ends it with a ninja defuse. Envoy runs away, and I think it's just a good heads up play out of Bance to just hop on it. I mean, that's just a typical Benjamin Bance play. Insight just gets aggro with him, because at that point he's on the bomb. It's all or nothing. Just go for it. He's gonna be distracted and run out.
Did you guys see Kenny's reaction?
Nah.
Look at Kenny's reaction as the bomb's getting diffused. Look at his reaction.
Oh, he lost full. He lost fucking full. I would have lost full too. I mean, he fucking.
Oh, he
lost
knew.
composure, bro.
and that's something that's like they can't really predict, right? Like, that is just such bad timing on Envoy's part, and such a big play out of Bance. Like, I wouldn't have expected someone to be on the bomb there either, but yeah, that was just unfortunate.
But listen,
they should try using smokes.
They should, Mr. Joe, Mr. Merc. But guess what?
agree.
The smokes are fucking broken.
Sledgehammer's got to fix them. Yeah, that's the bottom line.
I heard they are fixing them, right?
They're broken. I agree they're broken.
I heard they were.
Sorry, go ahead. But I just think, like, going just back to the way that not Toronto, but Thieves played it. When you have a sniper that's doing that well, you have two options. You have to counter snipe him to basically stop whatever he's doing, and clearly that wasn't working. Or two, you have to start getting aggressive and forcing him to put it away.
Yeah.
And they were obviously not doing the latter, because they tried the counter sniping and Octane was losing it most of the time. Insight was popping off.
Sam got a hit marker too one round. They were like in a straight up duel. I was like, oh, he must have lost full.
But once you put it away, you have you're a gun up right there. Like, you already have a more aggressive role. Start playing aggressive. Like, stop just like playing so slow. You're giving this guy space. You're giving this guy room to work, and he's really hot right now. When he gets the opportunity with nobody contesting him, he's not going to miss. So you got to do something else, and they didn't adapt at all. They kept letting Toronto and Insight do whatever the hell they wanted, and they ended up losing the map. So
good job. Had a Toronto Ultra to close that one out. Really good series. I think Los Angeles Thieves, they still look great. They still look great. They still got a tournament to play. It's not over yet. It's not over till it's finished. They're gonna have to make a losers run now. Toronto go over to the next round. So good plays out of both teams. Toronto able to close it out. But now we get to the big one. The big series, OpTic Texas, going up against Seattle Surge. Let's take a look at the vetoes. OpTic Texas, Pat, you called a 3-0, and you got exactly what you called. You're one of the smartest in the business, Pat.
Appreciate that, Tom. Appreciate that. Look, this sucks for me, right? Because I do think the Seattle team has potential, but I fully think that coming in how hot they were in the beginning of the season, and how hot not necessarily how hot they started, but those two big wins they got when Lamar, iced up round 11. This team was put in a tier that I really don't feel they deserved. In those wins they had, Sib was insanely overperforming. And that's not to say that he can't play that way, but he was literally dropping 1.5s, and this team was barely winning. Tom, I'm gonna put in your chat for a link that you can pull up on the stream before we get into this match, just to kind of give an idea. So these are the stats from this series, and obviously I think Sib is a good player, but this team to me relies on him being a dominant slayer, right? They rely on that. Like, they almost need it. And then when he's having series where he's dropping 0.75s, -19. Lamar obviously played bad as well. Lamar necessarily can get away with it, right? We saw that with that team. But if Sib, the guy who they need to be a 1.2 like main slayer, shitting on the other team, which he's definitely capable of, if he's not doing that, this Seattle team stands no chance. And that's why I think the big thing for them was, I think they were massively overrated because of that. Like, when you look at them as a team, they're fundamental, the way they play, they're not that ahead. And when they're not slaying, they just, there's no way they can win. So for this team, for me to turn it around and kind of get back to where we had them before, there just has to be a massive slaying improvement across the board, because to me, they're just not going to win series unless Sib is frying.
Yeah. The .78 surprised me from Illy. That's weird. He was still doing his thing. I mean, I know maybe not on the stat sheet, but just watching the game, it seemed like he was making plays.
I think he had a negative, like a real negative control.
Okay, that's probably what maybe brought his stats down a little bit. Brucey popped the fuck off. Shotzi was doing his thing. Scump was taking game base. This guy popped the 4-piece, broke the fucking game. They had to reset the whole fucking thing. You know what I'm saying? So anything about the vetoes that catch your eye? Nothing to me, really.
The Bocage, that's the only thing. I think pretty much this is a standard veto across the board, but the Bocage hardpoint, again, we kind of talk about this, like OpTic and FaZe are the two teams you want to avoid on Bocage. It's just fundamentally how they play. Obviously, Seattle can keep it competitive and keep it close, which they did. But at the end of the day, I feel like Seattle just would have stood a better chance on almost any other map than Bocage.
Yeah. No. Was this the lag out? Am I on the lag out right now? I don't think this was the lag out game. I'm pretty sure this was the regular one. But Bocage, man. Bocage hardpoint. We know how this map is. Dashy was fucking popping off today, but Shotzi was, for me, was the Bocage hardpoint MVP. This guy, you just can't do anything about his play sometimes. Like, I just feel like you can't keep track of him. If you call out Shotzi,
that's why you don't play Bocage.
That's why, yeah, seriously, that's why you don't play Bocage. But it was just, whenever he gets a kill and he gets called out, he's never in the same spot. He's always somewhere fucking guys nowhere.
15 feet away, bro, by the time he's called out. He's already slid, double jumped on a different mantled, like he's somewhere else on the map.
Also, in terms of vetoes, just talking about it, Sib in challengers. He was a flex, but he was always better with an AR. And obviously, you got Lamar, which is also a pretty AR heavy player. It didn't make sense that they would play Bocage, but then I'm assuming they would have had to play Tuscan, and I don't really know too much about their Tuscan gameplay.
Tuscan was one of Sib's better maps from like the kickoff and their initial games. That's when he was having those 1.5s, bro. Like, some of the sprees he went on was on Tuscan, like in that back P3 hill, getting up on that heady and just locking down that lane. Because the guy's shot is gross. Like, he doesn't miss. And I agree with you. I think he should be running an auto more often than not, regardless of the fact that he's capable of doing both.
Yeah, I kind of want to play the casters there, if you guys don't mind. The crowd erupting, like, got me fucking bricked up to the fucking max, bro. Let's watch this shit as Scum fucking pieces them up here on the 4-piece. Let's tune in and go into a live listening.
Control. Can they find the kills now? Scumpy finds 2 at the point, flushes them out. Picks that number. Whoa! Okie dokie! Bro, the crowd reaction is fucking sick, by the way. That was fucking sick. I love an energetic crowd like that. The green wall was really showing out today. It definitely heard them the most when OpTic was playing. So shout out to them for being electric. But anyway, they go into a listening during this map, and it ends up crashing. Let's tune into the listening, and let's see how the guys were calming when the game crashed.
They can only give me shot. They can only go. I heard that.
And this one was the
I'm still left right now, guys.
the game froze.
Turn the block. Where is he? Go back left. Yeah, he's come. He went front.
Yeah, shock after that.
Right towards him.
Back on tank. One more tank to your left. He's at the tank.
I hear you. I don't see him.
I'm
one
gonna
pinch.
I'm nading over.
Yo, one set. One check.
Get one check.
Small
Back up.
Get closer.
I think it's a barn. I think that's tank. What's that time?
Yo, we
Absolutely.
I'll get top.
Top on Mac.
Keep staying down that.
Set up.
I might play right now. I don't see anything.
Blue browse absolute.
I don't see top. I don't know.
Okay, I get the back browse.
Yeah, they might flip
Make sure
right
don't
here.
flip. Make sure don't flip. I think we did though.
I don't see. Yeah, we already flipped. One guy's kicked. First guy's kicked. I'll go. Slow down.
Get back, absolute. One shot do.
Yeah, he ran.
Yeah, let's one check right now, guys.
There's one more front door.
Are you already left?
Yeah.
Yeah, A plan, you Brennan. I need over A plan. I need over you. You Brennan, can you over me?
Yeah, hold on.
Right here, right?
Ah, you like no.
Oh, it's like that. No way.
No shot, dude.
All good.
You were. I gotta slow down. I just slow
Yeah,
down
you
right
hit Brucey?
now.
Oh, you're all good. I'm shitting on him.
We're good. We're gonna break the fuck out of that.
Yeah.
Hey, I like the composure from Big Brucey though. Hey, we're good. Everybody chill out. We're okay. Don't worry about it. I'll focus on the next one. I like that. I like that coming from
Resets are triggering, dude. But
triggering, bro.
OpTic just knows they're better than these guys. Like they just know, like it doesn't even matter if they have to replay, they're probably still gonna like stomp them at the end of the day.
Yeah, even though the replay did get a little, you know, Seattle it got a little mixy. I mean, Seattle definitely had a better break off in the second half, but definitely never want to see that. I just feel like even as a viewer, I can only imagine the players, but as a viewer, when you're watching and you're so into the game and the game crashes, you're like, dude, you like, come on.
It sucks because it's a full reset for the viewers too, right? Like they got
they're
getting hype watching this game play out, and then they're like, fuck, now we got to start all over.
And imagine the players.
It's a reset for everyone, bro. Like even mentally, you're just like, oh well, unlucky and all that stuff. Like Scum just got like a dirty 4-piece, like hella impactful.
Yeah, like it was just such a cool game.
And
Shotzi is 24 and 15 or whatever. Like Shotzi's frying, you know. It's a Len in the chat. It has nothing to do with Ben, by the way. It's just an ongoing joke. But Len in the chat for the production. But the server crashed. It goes down. OpTic come back into the boat cage. Very back and forth. I mean, typical fucking boat cage shit, right? But OpTic really pulled through here. It was when it went back over to this, what is it, the P4 hill. Back over to this barn hill is when OpTic was able to get pushed out and just kind of be really annoying here. And again, Shotzi just kind of switching lanes. They were able to lock down a lot of time here on this hill. Which, when you have a team like OpTic that are rotated and pushed down these cuts, granted, they did end again pooped on right there, but it was before that they won the fights and pushed them back a little bit. It's very difficult to deal with, but they definitely pulled through a little bit. They won the trades in the hill when Seattle did get in there, and I feel like at this point, I mean, Pat, what did I say about boat cage?
It's over. When the 50-point lead is a 100-point lead.
You got a 50-point lead. That means that they have a 100-point lead, okay? This one's all over. At this point, a team like OpTic should not lose this. You have a 50-point lead on boat cage. Couple minutes left to go. I mean, all they need to do is just keep doing what they're doing. It got a little scary here. I thought Seattle was going to bring it back a little bit on this hill.
Well, we can go down to that last hill. I think it was the tank hill where Seattle had full control, got the kills, and I think it was like Pred. It was OpTic had 244. Pred and someone else on Seattle decided to like rotate, which made no sense because
we were watching this. This was crazy.
There was like 39 seconds left on the hill, and OpTic needs 6 points to win.
What was their thought process here, do you think, Pat? Just trying to flip spawns? But why did two guys go?
Why would you why would you want to flip there? Like you have to play almost this whole hill regardless and play for a break. Like that's your only play. They need legit 6 points. And there's 32 seconds left.
I do not mind number 8 pushing out like this. He needs, but
someone follows him up though.
Well, he spawns there. He spawns there. Yeah, true. I mean, he spawns him out. I mean, he spawns him deep. I mean, they should just hold. I mean, if anything, like, you know,
play close around the hill. They legit need 6 points. If you lose one wave, it's over. It's GG.
Yeah, the guy on hill also is fried. Like, if he knows that they're all spawning barn, he's exposing himself completely to barn. He should have just been hiding behind the tank.
By the way, did Pred not pick up on the spawns? Those river spawns are pretty common.
So his teammate would have got that spawn that he got regardless whether Pred made that play or not. Like because of OpTic spawn river.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, because look, OpTic spawn river and hit the back.
Yeah, but look. Pause this instantly.
But the first guy from Seattle spawns in the back, right? Number 7 spawns in the back, and then once Pred pushes up.
I don't think who is that, number 6? I don't think Lamar's getting that back barn spawn.
I don't know about that, Pat. I don't know.
Look where they are. They're already back. Like, there's no way he's gonna spawn in that corner when they're already. They already got that. They're pushing that out.
It's boat cage hardpoint, Pat. You know what I'm saying?
True. That's true.
You don't even fucking know.
I don't know how squad spawns work, but I imagine that number 6 would spawn there regardless. But either way, man, 36 seconds. Or 33, whatever it was. I just don't agree with this play at all. I don't like. What is he accomplishing by doing this? Unless he thought that they were spawning.
He thought they were spawning there, Pat. Like 100%. Look at how he challenges this. Like, look, he runs through. He slide cancels at the door and insta chows the tank, like where they spawn. But the thing is, on this hill, like that river spawn, unless you have somebody pushed out like mid or right.
Yeah, they had no mid control though. Why would he think they spawned there?
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It was just a bad read.
He timed it terribly. The people are already off spawn. He clearly, as soon as he comes out the door, he shouldn't even be that far pushed up. But as soon as he comes out the door, he needs to turn around. But number 5 shouldn't die in the hill. Like,
I don't think it matters.
Number 5,
even if he
number 5 should have insta died on the hill. Like
number 5.
Well. Yeah, go back. You'll see it. They know they're spawning barn because they get the number 6 spawn queue, and the guy's just standing out in the open. He just dies to this guy.
Yeah, I don't know what he was doing.
You know what would have been the play if Pred sat in that like corner, like right where he is right now. Like if he would have pushed out mid, sat in that corner, and held like the mid cross, he would have got like a 2-piece of those guys crossing the barn right there.
Yeah.
Also, what was this? They like, so number 6 just sits there and holds, but no one else, I guess, comes to back him up, and they just get on the hill for free at the
25
end.
seconds left. Yeah, 25 seconds.
This is so weird. This is just so weird to watch.
They're just all like, they're still at the old hill technically. Number 6 is just sitting there. He's the only one that's in position to even contest it. It's just like they were just fucked.
Do you think OpTic was like confused as fuck when they got on the point? Like what?
100%.
Like what the fuck?
Yeah,
Like where?
100%.
Like where? Do you think they were like where are they? Like where the fuck?
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, bro, you know this. Like when a team needs 5 points to win the fucking map, you turtle around the hill. Like you play the best setup you can to ensure they can't win off that scrap, because that's your only hope to come back, is to make sure they don't.
Oh my god, that guy's face.
The rest of that time. But
Yeah, I would listen. It's Bo Cage hard point. I definitely had OpTic taking a series, but when I saw the Bo Cage hard point, I had a feeling this was definitely going to be a 1-0 off the rip, going in favor of OpTic, especially with the way Shotzi's been moving. I even saw Formal give him some gas, like just saying that Shotzi's different on the timeline.
What map did they ban? Do we know? I can go to the DM really quick. I just want to know what map.
Did OpTic ban?
No. Seattle. Let me go find it.
I'm not
They
sure.
banned.
I really want to see. And Chris, while Pat's looking that up,
They banned Berlin.
I want to know what you think here, Chris. After they get the 2 kills and they make it a 2v2 situation, don't you think Lamar should get the fuck out of here now and like push up with Mac and like get Mixie?
I'm trying to wait for the stream to catch up.
Bro,
He
guys, they banned
did it a
Berlin.
little bit. Like I just feel like Lamar should be hitting the stairs right now. Like he should just like instantly hit the stairs and like with that AR. What,
yeah,
Pat?
yeah,
What's the problem, Pat? What's the problem, Pat? What's the
They
problem?
banned Berlin.
Who? Seattle banned Berlin?
Seattle banned Berlin.
The fuck are they doing, Pat? What are you doing?
Over Bo Cage. When you got Lamar and Sib, I feel like that would help you so much on Berlin. 2 maps, those guys can just run autos the whole map. OpTic hasn't looked that good on Berlin. Remember the rocker came back on them really bad on that Berlin map. Why are they banning that and playing Bo Cage? That makes no sense. Even if you ban Bo Cage, there's not a guarantee that OpTic's going to pick Berlin anyway.
Yeah.
Well, I guess they would, but it would be their pick. But like, I don't understand that at all. That makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, regardless, it's like a double AR map. I still don't think you
have
ban.
Sib,
yeah, you don't ban it.
You're going up against Illy and Dashy, which obviously Dashy's gross, but you're going against Illy on an auto versus your best player guaranteeing to have an auto. That makes.
I mean, at the end of the day, they might not be comfortable on the map, but at that point, you're just out. You're just outskilled at that point because you don't have the.
Chris. Like if you asked OpTic, hey, which map would you rather play, Bo Cage or Berlin? OpTic's gonna say Bo Cage every single time.
Yeah, I would assume so.
Yeah. So why make a veto to help the other team? That makes no sense.
It doesn't make sense. Yeah.
Good round for Seattle to tie it back up at 2. The round prior to this, Dashy was just sitting top 3, putting those laser beams down, doing what he does. Seattle ends up hitting that A site. They get the kills. They rotate back to B. I like that. I like that teams are starting to rotate a lot more. You know, they'll get kills at one site. Things get mixy and things are out of control. Take back up. Take your time. Stay composed. And rotate back and switch bomb sites. I think OpTic did something similar this round. If I remember correctly, they push up towards B. You can tell that their mindset right now is to go B side here. But because Pred is in this site and he's being a nuisance, they know he's in there. I think they shoot the door open and they try and get some information. Shotzi ends up double backing here. And it's a good play. I want to know what you guys think, but they shoot the door open. Pretty sure he throws some tags down. And then once Shotzi pushes up, you can tell they're trying to get this B bomb down. Shotzi gets aggro. They make noise. He gets tagged by the can. Instantly just dips out. Dips out and says, you know what? Forget about it. I'm not doing that. I'm leaving. I'm going over to the
decisive plays, Tom.
Decisive plays. And they do it fast. Like, they do it so fast. Like, look, they gave up the site. I mean, Seattle's not even on the A site anymore. They have somebody deep A, like, holding it, but he's by himself.
I don't like this setup at all. Like, I just think they're
from Seattle, you're saying?
From Seattle. They're just they do have the bombs. Like, they have information on the bomb, but they have no information, like, at all with mid map at all. There's nothing. There's just nothing that's going to stop them from rotating the map. And I guess OpTic just reads it perfectly.
It just seems so
gets out.
reactionary, right? Like, you're just waiting for the other team to make a play. Like, that.
Yeah.
What you're hoping for.
The reason why I'm just bringing it up is just because I think that situationally, like, OpTic, their mid-round adjustments have been a lot better. A lot better.
You heard in Seth's interview, he was like, we just felt like our S&D was sloppy and we were allowing rounds to go round 11 when they otherwise shouldn't have. So we really prioritized, like, those middle rounds and making adjustments so you don't throw away easy wins.
Throwing shimmies in this game scares me. I feel like he's, he's gonna
like
throw a
getting
shimmy and get bopped. Yeah, like he's throwing a shimmy. I'm like, dude.
Headshotted.
Yeah, good play by Scott.
But even though that setup, it just like it doesn't make sense. By the time they get to a site, you're just getting overwhelmed. Like even if they do have 2 people out of sight holding it together,
right,
if 4 of them hit it, you just have no information the way they're playing, and I'm just not a fan. It might be one of their strats they probably tried and practice and stuff like that, but I just don't think that's a good strat at all, man. You're gambling at that point.
It also seems like they haven't changed much, right, from the initial kickoff. Like that's the style of S&D that was working for them early on, where they were kind of playing that way. And obviously, like teams have a lot of footage now, and I think that's something that's hurting Seattle because teams can kind of understand how Seattle likes to play. They were obviously a good S&D team for a while in the beginning. And yeah, I think they kind of play that style where they play these like get info, stall, wrap, and then try and get the first kill and bully them out. But I agree with you, Chris. I don't think that's a recipe for success.
Yeah. Somebody says Shotzi's the best POV in COD right now. It's not even close. And dude, this guy, I agree. This guy's different, bro.
He's probably the funnest POV to watch.
Look at how this guy played this round. Look at what he did. He ran up statue by himself, catches Dante with his pants down. Have a good day, Dante. Backs up, throws a stun, and keeps pushing. He said, fuck it, I'm going to keep going. Why not? I mean, it's kind of a stupid play, but fuck it. It's kind of a stupid play, but fuck it. I mean, he's confident. He's being decisive. It's all that matters.
We talked about this, Tom. There's like certain players on certain teams where like, fuck it if it's a stupid play. Like let
Hydra.
them be
Talking about like Hydra in New York.
Yeah, like let them just make the shit plays they want to make. Because it's the style of COD we're playing nowadays. Like if this was World War II, you would be like, wow, that's super detrimental. But it's not that style. Like if you're able to do this, the things you're able to do on the map now with the movement and everything, and obviously Shotzi's tier 1 at it, like just let him do it. And I think it's the same case with like Hydra, and there's a lot of other kind of examples. But those players succeed when they play that just kind of reckless style.
Yeah. I like the setup this round too. I love this setup. There's a good setup here.
The thing about this though is that this map, the fact that there's a lot of cross spots for both the defense and even like the offensive team, how a lot of people like, you know, what Scump was doing, he was getting on that like box and looking towards the A cross of this pistol. Like a lot of that stuff and all of that information you can abuse, man. Like as you're crossing, you can also like kind of like counter spot it just to see if the guy's there. And like what Shotzi's doing is he can literally run up to mid as long as he checks to make sure there isn't a guy to his right, like in Broken where Sib was, and he can like kill him. He can almost instantly just run up mid for free and immediately go for the player that's like sit in their spine the cross for a second and just catch him off guard. Like you want to play loose on this Berlin map. It benefits you on this map because those cross spots are so abusable because you know a player is probably going to be playing it. Like, so you almost know where a player is at all times off the rip of a round, and that's just going to allow you to have an opening somewhere.
Yeah.
Or you can just manipulate the information that guy sees. For example, if you know he likes to watch the cross spot, send 2-3 people towards A. What's that going to tell them? What's that going to do for them? They're going to instantly hit B. And so like it allows you to kind of manipulate the way your opponent thinks by feeding them information.
Yeah. Good point. Good point, Chris. And Chris, check this out. You seen this before, Chris? This motherfucker's levitating. How the fuck does this guy find all these spots?
Yeah, bro. What is this?
How the fuck does he find these things? I don't understand this kid. Look at this shit, bro. This guy's fucking levitating, bro.
Is that Chris Angel?
What the hell is this? And then he gets the blood, and then he makes a good last play here. The guy gets the bomb down. It's Mac. I think they lose this round. He gets the kill, and then he cooks a grenade. He knows where he just reads them. He throws out the nade, gets him one shot, gets the kill before he falls. It's just good heads up play. I think Seattle went a round or two, and then you know, OpTic ended up closing it out. But good, hey, way better from OpTic in their mid round adjustments. You can tell that they've been putting in a lot of time. Yeah. They've been working on that shit. So just good heads up play. And I love the round here too, by the way, because Preg gets a kill on the bomb site, so bomb's down over in B. I just like the play Illy makes here. Scump gets aggressive fire, which I love. I love that Scump got aggressive and wasn't scared to make a play. But I like how they come in from behind over here on Pred over in this HUD area. This was a good heads-up play to Illy. Instead of pushing through the front with an automaton, he catches Pred with his pants down coming through the window. So just a good heads-up play out of them. Instead of trying to force through the doors of HUD and B, they just take mid-map control. They know there's a guy in there, so they use their numbers mid. Seth makes a play, and then they were able to just sniff him out. And just like that, it's a 3v1 OpTic win.
About this OpTic team in general
fans
is
go
like,
crazy.
once they start to put together that S&D, like this team's gonna be gross. They're all nasty S&D players in their own right on this team. I just don't think in the early kind of early stage of this game they weren't playing with much cohesion. So it's so clear to me that they've been working on that. With Ray obviously, and I think they've got it to a good spot. So it's just about maintaining for them now.
Yep, and then we get into the Tuscan control, which both defenses were won initially. Typical Tuscan control shit. But then I think we should talk about Lamar a little bit. He struggled this map. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, Lamar's been playing great all year. Super icy, clutching up. He had a bad map this map. What are you going to do? He had a bad map, and
Brucey's 20-5.
And then Brucey had what, a 10.0? What do you have this map?
I think it was something close, yeah.
Okay, because he was he was frying, and they couldn't contain Brucey. They couldn't contain him. He was all over the place. Something Bruce does well is he's so good with picking his spots and his positions. And once he has that L trigger held down, he's just snappy pappy.
And I can't remember if I said it on the flank or the reverse sweep or what, but I think Bruce is gonna have. I have OpTic, like, disclaimer. I have them getting top 3, kind of somewhere in that range. But I have Bruce playing individually, probably one of the best events he's played in a long time, right? Like going back to that notable one's probably that Vegas BO4 event. Because I think with
that
Bruce,
the event they won?
Yeah, that initial that OpTic team.
Yeah.
I think with Bruce too, the better this team gets, like in general, like the better they get as a team, the better that he's gonna get individually, because it's gonna allow him to kind of play the style of AR that he likes to play and he's natural in. And you saw it on this map, bro. And he's just zoned in. Like he gets to get to his spots and hold his lanes. He's gonna be a problem. So for me, this team getting better just lets Bruce get better, and so I think he's gonna have probably some of the best stats from this tournament overall. When Sunday's over with, but it's good to see because I think he plays a pivotal role on this team. Like he is kind of that that backbone to this team, so to speak, because it allows Shotzi and Seth and Ender to kind of have that that free roam. So.
Yep.
It's really good to see, and I think it's super important for them to have.
Yep, and this is where Seattle, I mean, the life advantage, it's 9-6 right now in favor of OpTic. OpTic decided to go around the back here. Keep in mind, before this, OpTic was able to break on in because Dashy picked up streaks. They all flooded church. They worked top green. They called the streaks, got on the point, worked the lives down, and now here we are with 29 seconds left to go. OpTic find themselves with a 3 life advantage. They decided to work the back here on this B point. And Mac was able to piece him up here. Big 3-piece out of Mac there. Really big plays. I don't know if I agree with pushing the back play. I feel like pushing the back is like really difficult. There's so many corners, headies, all kinds of shit.
Well, you're shitting on them the way they were this map. Yeah, I agree with you. Just hit the front.
Just hit the front and just do what you do. Yeah, just bully him.
You got Shotzi, bro. Hit the front every time.
I mean, dude, you could probably find some nade spots here, right where Shotzi's standing. If you look straight up and throw a nade, you could probably hit him plat and shit, and then just fucking hit it.
I'm so surprised that teams haven't done that. Like, I feel like that's such an easy thing to implement. Most of the spots, and the nades obviously have a
even in especially in control and respawns, like even if you're breaking the hill on hard point, like it's good to have spots like that. So you got to think that some of these pros are gonna practice some of that shit. Maybe they already have, just in the heat of the moment, when the game's moving so fast, you don't even really think about it.
Yeah. I mean, I see a lot of people, so that spot that he's in, you can almost like double whammy it. If you just cook a nade over like the house in front of them, like on that platform, you can easily blow it up like right where that guy was standing on the railing. And then if you don't hit him there, or if you do hit him there, you just check the corner on the right, and then boom, you have like plat cleared. So I mean, it's not hard to do. It just requires some coordination that I think some people are just kind of missing sometimes. But
and then at this point, I mean, you're on the defensive side. If you're OpTic, you're not even tripping. You're like, listen, we're definitely winning the life advantage here.
Yeah, we thought this was over. We thought they were just
we even said it was over. Even when it was 1-2 and we were watching it back, we were like, OpTic's gonna win this because they're just slaying them out and they're gonna get defense again. And when you put OpTic on defense, I mean, they're gonna do what they do. And I love how they spread the map here. They have Seattle pinned so bad here. They can't do shit. They literally have every single lane of the map just, blocked off, and they're not losing fights either. It's 28-16 life count in the beginning of this round. They just got all the kills. So they won the break, they pushed up, and they weren't losing fights. So OpTic were able to push this to it got a little mixy, but not really. Pred went on like a fucking 10 spree or some shit. He went crazy, or a 6 spree.
Yeah,
like
this is when we like thought it was gonna end, and then Pred went off.
He went off and he made things interesting for a second, but I mean, it's still with how. Yeah, then he nated himself for the streaks. He nated himself for the streaks.
You know, is Seattle or Pred? Are you in here? I gotta ask what happened, bro.
Well, first let's show some love to Pred, because right here is when he kicked up, and just look at the kill feed. I mean, they don't really get anything on his camera, which kind of pissed me off. But he gets one.
But he
gets two. He lights up the kill feed. It's nonstop Pred for like the next 10-15 seconds. So he gets one here. He still goes. He ends up going on a 6-3. So he gets all. I'm pretty sure he gets all 3 of these guys right here, if I remember correctly. Boom, boom, bada bing, boom. Then he goes middle. He hits middle. He gets into church. Good plays. I mean, it's just too late now. I mean, look at the life advantage. He's making plays. It's just way too late. Way too late. Nothing's gonna happen. Lamar's obviously having a rough map, so it's just at this point, OpTic, they know they're chilling. The only thing OpTic can't do here is lose the point, and they end up, and Seattle ends up throwing a stack. You know what I'm saying? And losing point. All OpTic need to do is play around point, make sure that Seattle doesn't clean wipe them. Because if Seattle gets a 4 clean and stacks the point, that's the only way they win that round. They go back over to the defense, and Pat, this is where OpTic Texas take care of business and take the series 3-0, just like you called it.
Yeah, once they had defense, there was just no doubt. I mean,
we were all our predictions were all right. Well, all of my predictions were right. Pat, you got one wrong.
You took the 50-50 on Ultra and Thieves. I took the opposite. So yeah.
Yeah. Which could have gone either way, Pat. I think we've been doing a good job.
That would be the closest series of the weekend almost. That's kind of like what I relied on. My personal bracket, I thought Thieves would have took it, but yeah, I think that they're very evenly matched teams, which is why we had them so equal in the tier list. But yeah, I mean, I think, you know, majority of the games aside from that Thieves Ultra game was pretty clear cut on who we thought would take it.
Agreed.
But tomorrow, or I guess some of the games tomorrow, but you know, as we go on the weekend, the matches are going to get more and more interesting and a lot harder to predict. I think Saturday we have that OpTic FaZe game. That's going to be a impossible one to predict. I'm praying for a Bocage. I'm praying.
If you want to see an OpTic FaZe Bocage, that would be fire.
Map 1.
That would be fucking fire, bro. That would be fucking heat. Listen, let's go into the interview with Scump, and then we'll do our predictions really quick, and you guys can get out of here. I know it's late. It's been a really long day. I don't want to keep anybody, but let's see what Seth had to say, and then we'll hop into the predictions for tomorrow, and we'll call it.
Chat 2. Clint, take it away.
I think they love you.
Yeah, we love you guys.
Well, first off, it's good to be up here again with you, pal. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been. I was a little bit worried there that we weren't going to have Merc and Maven. Here we go.
I'm here.
Absolutely.
But I want to hear. You know, it's. I know we had the kickoff, but it was a couple of years, so without LAN, right? Without these moments. Now it is the OpTic Major here in Dallas, in front of this crowd. It's Thursday. What's it like?
Yeah, I mean, we just literally set up here. Like, we can't imagine what it's going to be like here on Saturday because Thursday was popping. So, yeah, it's just it's a great atmosphere. Obviously, we love the green wall. You guys are the best in the world, best fans in the world. So thank you all very, very much. And, you know, we're just going to try to get some wins for you guys. Thank you.
You gotta love to hear that.
That is stupid, bro.
Not to get too serious with all the love out here, but
thank you.
It was a little up and down. Well, maybe down then up when you talk about the qualifier for this. What were you really trying to get to click for you leading into the major?
I mean, we've just been in the lab. Like, we've been working so hard. I'm sure you guys can see that with our gameplay. We've just been trying to really polish everything that was going wrong for us. Like those round 11s, we were looking back at our search as a whole and just trying to not get to that point first of all. But then if we get to that point, knowing that we have like the exact plan, how we want to win the round. So we've just been working really hard. We've been getting on an hour early before practice for the past, since the game came out. And I'm really happy that it's shown. We've just been putting in a lot of work.
Yeah. So did you I know last year that 1v3 with accuracy was a tough moment. What, did you have a pep talk with Bruce before? Because he put him in a body bag. Like the map 3, Bruce is like 80-20. I look over, poor Lamar, it was like 11-30. I mean, was Bruce on a mission?
Nah, I mean, it happens in this game, dude. Like, you can get thrown into a blender so hard on this game specifically. But yeah, Bruce is an absolute animal. I love my teammates. They're all absolute beasts. So they make my job real easy.
Hey. Excited to see what you can do. It's awesome to see you again. Good luck the rest of the way. Let's get it back to the desk.
The Royal Ravens, Atlanta FaZe.
That's lit, bro. The green wall was going fucking crazy, man. They really do be getting loud in that venue, man. And obviously there's a lot of non-green wall people in there as well.
It's the OpTic venue too. Now.
It's the OpTic venue right now, man. I mean, the green wall came out hot. It's always nice to hear them erupt, you know, when they're playing. Like, there's something about it that just fucking, it's lit, bro. Even when you're playing against it and they boo you, it's just the energy in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, even
they booed me a lot over the years.
Well, same. So. I mean, they booed us every time we got on stage. But you know, Pat. At the end of the day, you sit there and you know you realize they're OpTic fans. You respect it. They're booing the opposite team. You know, it is what it is. To me, it was the energy. You know, you respect it. You get booed, it turns you up. You know, Pat makes you. It's just the energy of the venue and the events. I'm so happy we're back on land. It's so nice to hear the crowd roar and do what they do. But let's get into the matches tomorrow. I just had it. I lost it. What the fuck am I doing?
Can we link you? I got it.
No, I got it. I got it right here. We're good. All right. Let's go into the matches tomorrow. I say we just fire these off quick. And then after the stream, guys, or after the flank, I'm going to be tuning into the No Pressure series that the New York Subliners have been filming. We're going to watch it after the flank. If after the predictions you guys want to stay tuned, that's what we're going to be doing. Just a little heads up. But let's fire these off, man. Minnesota versus Los Angeles Guerrillas. New York Subliners versus LA Thieves. Florida Mutineers versus Boston Breach, and Paris Legion versus Seattle Surge. I'm going to fire mine off right away. Actually, we'll do one by one. Minnesota Rocket versus Los Angeles Guerrillas. I personally have the Rocker tomorrow. 3-2.
Okay, yeah, I was about to say, just pick the team and map count that we were doing. Just fire it.
Yeah, I'll go Rocker 3-2. I'll go Los Angeles Thieves 3-0. I'll go. Oof.
That's the tough one, yeah.
Oof. What the fuck? I'm going Florida Mutineers. Now I beat the Florida Mutineers in rank play. I'm going Boston Breach. I'm going Boston. No, I'm just kidding. I played Skies at that patty. I had to do what I had to do. But I don't know what to do here, Pat. I'm actually stumped. I'm actually confused.
I'm stumped on the first game too.
All right, I'll give you mine. I got all mine. I got Rocker 3-2. I think same struggle for the Guerrillas. I just don't have faith they'll close the game 5. I got Thieves 3-0. I got Mutineers 3-1.
Yeah.
And I got Surge 3-2.
Okay, so you think Boston's gonna lose that tomorrow? What do you think, Chris? What do you think about go through all yours first? I by the way, I got Seattle 3-2. You said 3-2.
Yeah, I think there's going to be some life out of the and a lot of Seattle's games are close. I know they're playing.
I think there'll be some life out of Paris too. The only thing with that is that they're so new. I just don't know how much time they have.
I think they lose the series. I just think it could be a little bit closer.
I'll go 3-1 Seattle. Only one I'm confused about is Florida Boston. Chris, we'll hear yours. I don't know yet about Florida Boston. I'll give you my prediction soon.
Rocker 3-2. Like this is a hard one to predict because it's just like Hardpoint versus S&D team. Thieves 3-0. Breach. I want to say Breach wins 3-1. I just like the way they've looked even online, and like I said versus FaZe. I don't think they really played terribly. They're just playing against FaZe, and I think they can beat a team like Florida. And I have some confidence in that squad, man. I don't think their run is over yet. Surge 3-0. Just because Legion is new, I don't know what to expect.
You don't think it'll be close at all?
I mean, I don't know like anything about like how Legion's gonna look with Tom. I don't know how much is Tom playing.
Yeah. Tom's playing.
I don't know how much practice they've got.
Wait a second. What about Jimbo?
Jimbo's on there too.
I mean, that was the whole. No, not yet. But that was the whole
He needs a visa. It's probably too last minute for that.
Pat, don't say he ain't talk like it wasn't leaked already.
Okay, well he would need a visa.
Shut your fucking mouth.
He won't be able to get there in time due to visa. So yeah,
and
he's
also Paris just works slow because I'm sure Royalty made it over too.
Yeah, you gotta think though. Okay. Whoever is the, I think it was rumored to be Fellow, right? Getting replaced by. Or no, I'm sorry. Who was it? Yeah, it was Fellow, right?
Getting replaced by Jimbo. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you gotta think if he's on the chopping block, like hypothetically,
turn up.
Yeah, he's gotta be going hard tomorrow. So that'll be interesting. But
listen, I'm going 3-1 Florida. By the way, that's my prediction.
That's what I said too. Yeah, I think they'll take the hard points.
You said that? Okay, then I'll add a map. I'll go 3-2.
Honestly, don't even remember what I said, but I think Breach can win it.
I'll go 3-2.
I think your argument was fair. They did play FaZe today, which is a tough thing to kind of go against, and they played Simp today.
Playing like that guy was different, and some of the maps are still pretty close at times. So
yeah,
Yeah, well, listen, guys. I think that'll do it today. No putt today. Benji and Nassim.
Wait, we gotta get a Haggy putt. Chris, put us out.
Yeah, what the fuck? Okay, Chris, you want a fucking golf putt or any of that shit?
Bottle cap and a fork I can use as a.
No, do not do it. Do not use any of that. No, we're gonna pass on that. I think we're fine. Benji and Nassim obviously is at he's working with Esports Engine at the event. We knew prior that the live shows might be a little tough for Ben to be at. Sometimes it might be tough for him to be on the flank. So we love Benji and Nassim. We wish he was here. He might be here sometime during the weekend. I'm not sure. But Parasite, seriously, we owe you one, man. Thank you so much for coming on during the weekend. And
thank you.
No, seriously, thank you, man. And I know Parasite's gonna be with us all weekend, and he's gonna be streaming probably. Parasite, you're always streaming. You're always playing fuck, I don't know.
I'm an MMO streamer. If you like COD content, don't watch me. Unfortunately, I'm taking a full break, retirement.
No, I don't blame you for that. I don't blame you for that.
The most I do is watch.
Well, that's Call of Duty,
podcasts
right?
and stuff. I'm completely burnt on it. No rank play, nothing. But I appreciate the shout out anyways.
But that's just Call of Duty, right? Not other first person shooters that may be coming out soon.
See, I might be swayed to check out X Defiant just because my boy Patty P, absolute FPS genius, is working on the game.
Oh shit!
But we'll see.
Yep.
But I like Tommy said, thank you so much for coming on, man. It was I think we had an awesome show. I think
I'll be here tomorrow.
Viewers wise, yeah, no, for sure. But viewers wise, I think Tom, they loved it today, bro. They loved it. You had you don't have the sub train anymore, but you did hit 10K.
No, thank you guys, bro. Yeah, you guys have been going so crazy, man. I don't know what the hell happened before the show started today. I've never seen anything like that. You guys just like all ganged up together and like individually gifted 5 bombs. We went on a 900 sub train. It was insane. So thank you guys so much for all the love and support. We got a Crimsix tweet, by the way. I don't know if you guys saw this. I don't know if you guys want to talk about this.
What did he say?
But he tweeted at Abizi and he said, "Do I have your permission to hit send? I spared you, but you're telling me to hit send. Either way, it's a good entertainment and it will feed the dirty mouths of COD drama YouTubers regardless." Tweet it, motherfucker! Tweet it!
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means.
Called you about.
Maybe that's definitely what he called me about. He probably just didn't tell me. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for the love and support. Seriously, like you guys have been going absolutely fucking nuts, and we really appreciate it. And of course, I really appreciate it. Both.
Oh, by the way, hit the fucking like button.
Yeah, and bro, hey, listen, the patch shouted out the like button. You guys went crazy in the next video. Bullshit. The fuck? Hit that like button if you enjoyed, of course. We really appreciate it. If you guys hit that like button and share and do all that stuff. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, go to anchor.fm/theflank to check out audio. Say so we're on. Go to @theflank on Twitter. Gert's doing a phenomenal job over there running socials. And as always, guys, this is your boy Zoomaa. Shout out to Pat. Shout out to Chris. Fucking goats. So we'll be here tomorrow, guys. We'll be here tomorrow, ready to go after the matches. I'll be live all day doing a watch party. So make sure to follow the stream, and I'll see you guys in there. Take care. Brush your hair. Peace out, guys.